that nonsense shall begin.
I can do it. Here's the deal.
I gave up Christ for the midwife fucking. No, okay, no, let's not. Alright, let's calm down.
Not ponytails or cottontails, yeah, ducktails. Woo!
We're leaving the area.
If I leave the chest with you and then I make it and then you don't, then what fool are we?
Well, but then the chest will be right there, and you will have lost nothing.
But you'll be dead. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Just a quick little run through the door and nothing more. Everything's fine, I am fine, and you are fine.
These poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do.
Are you with me, mateys?
Arr.
Arr. All right, once more with feeling.
Once more with feeling.
I'm just gonna run up the stairs and have some fun, and then you'll be on the run behind me, and it will be fine.
Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered once, it can change again.
Restore power. Ah! Fuck me, Jesus Christ! Alright.
That's 33 points of damage.
Okay. Okay, put your little mouth away. Put your little mouth away!
That sounds like a
So we have a Kraken.
meg. Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Moose! Moose! You're so cute!
Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything is fine, and ultimately the end of this game will be mine.
All right, let's do it.
I hate this! Oh my god, I hate this! I've never seen this before and I hate it! Ah! That's fine. No. Ah! Jesus fucking Christ! Failing stuff and everything is good, cause I act real tough. Everything will be fine at sea.
I just want you to know that I love that.
Friends. Yeah? Everything's fine. Everything's fucking fine. Cause this is gonna be the last time we're gonna do it this time. Yeah, fine. Everything's fine.
Every day is a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me who loves to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna watch you.
I did it. Oh, no. You know.
Everything is fine. We're just gonna do our time in this prison of the mind. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine, and it's gonna be all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I was like,
Hi.
1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 911. Hey, everybody, welcome to stream. Welcome. My name is Anne Richmond. I am Hearthsinger, the head bard in charge around these parts. And tonight, my friends from the cast of Starfound are here on our second break week before we're back with our main storyline. If you've come here searching for Starfinder, that will be back next week at this time, same bat channel, same game. I was about to be like same bat game, but you know, whatever. It's same space game, same space channel. There we go. Nailed it. Stuck the landing.
Same cat game, same cat channel.
Well, except that it won't be cats.
Except
so.
it's not.
Yeah, but tonight.
Cats were inside us.
For one night only, we're going to be playing the fantastic game Cats of Catthulhu. And we are going to be led tonight. Whoa! If you say it in a way that makes people think their minds will be blown, Helena, their minds will be blown.
Yes, certainly.
Sweetly. So we are very, very excited, of course. We're sad Miles isn't here to enjoy this perfect experience. But while the Miles is away, the cats will play. And here today, much to our dismay, is GM Llama, a.k.a. Helena Anderson, to save the day.
Oh yeah, you know
You
me,
made
always
it.
coming in and saving the day at the very last moment with some eldritch horror, but there are cats in it.
It's true.
You know. But yeah, I'm the Magic Llama of the Magic Llama Mood. I have a YouTube channel and an Instagram, like most people, TikTok, like some people. You can follow me on all of those at the Magic Llama Mood. I have a video tomorrow going out at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is about Cats of Catthulhu, the game that we're literally about to play. So you can kind of go over and see the behind the scenes, learn a little bit about the ins and outs of this quite poopy is what I almost said, spoopy cat game. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, go check it out.
Absolutely. I have seen it because Helena was kind enough to let us see behind the Iron Curtain. And I think you guys are going to get a chance to kind of get an intro to the game tonight and then deep dive it tomorrow, because there's a lot of depth to this very rules-like game, I think.
It's a tiny little book, but there's so much in it. And I have the other 2 books too.
Absolutely. Dun, dun, dun.
Don't
And
forget
next up,
vision.
we have Dexter Warren.
Oh, well, hello, konnichiwa to everyone out there. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen, but we're reveling in it. I am Dexter Warren. Tonight, I'll be playing Thimblepaw, Tiger Dreamer. You can find me on TikTok at AfroCindere. That'll be going in the chat in just a moment. And I'm also on Instagram as Dexter Warren, also going in chat in a moment. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. And lastly, Parker Wallace. Bwah,
That's
bwah,
me.
bwah, bwah.
I'm Parker Wallace. Thank you for reminding me. My name is Parker Wallace. I'm an actor, singer, writer, composer, performing artist. I have a YouTube channel which I am posting musical performances on, as well as very soon a react video of Sonic the Hedgehog 2020. You can find me at Parker Wallace on Twitter and YouTube, and also on Facebook as Parker Wallace Actor. Yeah, and we all frequent Starfound, so y'all know that because you're following the channel, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So you should follow. You should follow the channel.
Yeah.
So we're typically here, just to give a heads up. Typically, we are here playing our Starfinder game. Starfinder, if you have not played it before, is a game of epic spacefaring fantasy and sci-fi. It's really sci fantasy. It's like the place where those two things meet, for sure. It's a little bit zany, and that's what we typically play every single Thursday night here at 7 p.m. Eastern. Everyone here, plus Miles from over at Geeks for Good, is our GM. All of us are normally here every single Thursday doing that, but of course we don't want to leave you hanging. So we put together this special little experience. Another thing you should know is that we do have a Patreon. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. Everything at that Patreon is completely free to view right now. It may not always be that way, but this is a good time to go check it out and see what kind of content you'd be getting regularly behind a paywall, all these behind the scenes things and community votes and things like that. This is a good chance to participate in the community and see whether or not you want to contribute later on. So this is a really unique
You do.
opportunity. And you do. And you do, and you will. But you will. And so that's awesome. And I also wanted to say I'm very excited because I got my Baby Bard shirt, my very own Baby Bard shirt today. It's very cool. It has the little me emoji in the corner. It says Baby Bard because that's what we are. And all of those are available at hearthsingergames.com/merch. If you haven't checked it out, you'll see the link come through the channel as we play tonight. So enjoy, have a look at it. And I don't want to spend any more time doing anything that isn't being a cat. Is
enough.
everybody okay with moving on with cat life?
Everybody wants to be a cat.
It's true. I'm not
That
sure
fits
that I'm
a
going to
horror
want that
game.
after we start playing, but right now, yes, that is what I want.
All right,
All right, take us away, Helena.
let's get started. Sorry, I'm running that and this and great. All right. So today we start with a dream. We have our beautiful tiger dreamer, Thimblepaw. Thimblepaw is some cat that is connected psychically to the world around him, to the earth itself, and to the cosmos, to the very planets, one could say. He feels what it is to have the big cat's blood rushing through his veins at every moment, and he's wearing a nice lion shirt. But right now, Thimblepaw is fast asleep. Where do you sleep, Thimblepaw?
I sleep on the bookshelf that houses all the different threads at Todd's Little Weaver's shop. It has a high vantage where I can see the door and a lovely breeze that when the sunlight hits it is perfect temperature for a perfect being.
So as you're slumbering, perched on this high shelf surrounded by threads, you dream of threads. You see yourself as a small kitten prancing through baskets and barrels of endless colorful thread. Ribbons and beads start to fall from the sky. You are truly happy. Suddenly, a yellow satin ribbon falls down in front of you. What do you do?
I
Reach
bat
out to
at
bat
it.
it.
Yes.
As soon as your little paw touches the ribbon, you feel yourself age. Your hand grows less nimble. It almost curls into itself. You feel smaller, even though you were but a kitten moments before. As you gaze forward at this mustardy ribbon, it starts to burn from the bottom. A sickly green yellow flame consumes it as it burns out of view. You wake up to the sounds of howls and screams in your ears. It's about 5 a.m. Now, I'm sure our sweet little cotton ball is doing their own thing around 5 a.m. Now, remember, cats are nocturnal, so we all have our own schedules, but cats keep their own schedules. So what are you up to?
Well, the day is for human cuddles and pets, but the night, Cotton Ball walks his street in Brooklyn, showing every single cat that he owns this square foot. Or, I don't know, math is really hard for a cat. I don't know how many square feet are in a street,
Cats
but
do math.
I swear to God,
Irregardless.
Parker, if you start counting, we'll kill
No
you.
math.
No math, no math. Strictly forbidden here.
So as you walk around, the first light starts to peek over the trees of Prospect Park in the quiet streets of Brooklyn. You feel dread. Usually, the sun coming up means warmth and love for you, you being a feral cat who survives on the kindness of strangers, as it were.
Truly.
You feel the hope that comes with the dawn. You feel that, you know, you're going to get all the pets, you're going to get treats, you're going to get fed as soon as the two-footers of the neighborhood awake. However, this sunrise feels off. Something is strange. Now, we go to my dear Cat, which is your name.
My name is Cat.
What are
the
you
cat.
doing? Are you curled up? Are you pacing?
It is, how you say, sunrise, yes.
Mm-hmm.
At sunrise, I like to look down upon my 2 foot, knowing she is a bitch, until she finally wakes up and sees me there. I just want to know, I want her to understand truly what a threat I am, that at any moment I could cut her.
Mm-hmm.
But also, she is very comfortable to lay upon. So I will curl up, but menacingly. So she knows that she is just a piece of furniture in a cat's world.
So you curl up into the crook of her arm, grumpily, and in your mind, you hear the words, "Run. Run fast. Help us." And your owner immediately wakes up.
She, as my owner wakes up, I do that thing where I start to run, but because she has loose clothes on, I have no purchase. So I just scratch the ever-loving shit out of her as I jump up off of her. This is not based on personal experience, I swear. And she wonders what she could have done probably in that moment to make me so upset. But I just zoomies everywhere around the apartment.
She chooses a few swear words to shout at you, and she gets
including
up
just
slowly.
yelling, "Cat!
Cat! That darn cat!" And she slowly gets up out of her bed. She does not want to be awake. She does not look very happy, though she usually doesn't look very happy. She walks over to your food bowl and fills it up, hoping that perhaps you will be silenced by some nosh. She puts the food in the bowl and goes back to sleep.
Yeah, she sits confused. Finally, when I've run my courses, I sit and stare at her, and then stare at my food and think, I want wet food. Why is this always so dry? It's a metaphor for life that is so very, very dry. And then I begin to eat my food.
As soon as you have that thought, hoping for a wetter life, as it were.
Wet food.
Wet food.
Whatever cat wants. This is very expensive.
You hear car alarms right outside your apartment start to go off. What do you do?
I go running and I bound up onto the edge of my windowsill, and I sort of and I try to
open the window.
I try to open the little my owner's air conditioning has not worked in a while, so it's just the windows open with a little screen, and normally I can just open it a little bit to stick my head out and look down and see if I can see my friend Thimblepaw below, because we normally talk on the fire escape looking up and down from our windows.
Great. So why don't you roll an easy roll? You're already a cat acrobat,
It's true.
as it were. So you're pretty nimble. You're pretty quick. So
right.
roll 2d6.
All right, I have rolled a 3 and a 5, which I believe is 2 successes.
You get 2 successes. So you easily weasel yourself out onto the little fire escape that's right outside your owner's window. Before you look to the tailor shop, which is just next door from you, you see a parade. Maybe not a parade, a gang line, a jailbird chain, something strange. You see these dogs disappearing around the corner, walking in a completely straight line.
Yeah. Thimblepaw. I make the little purries, yeah. Thimblepaw, are you there? Do you see the dogs? The dogs, Thimblepaw.
Yes. I hear you, Cat. For some reason, the others have gathered. Why?
I do not like it.
This does not bode well.
You know that stupid pussyfoot would know.
Yes. They're probably off getting food, though it does seem a bit early. Perhaps they know more.
So, Cotton Ball, as you're doing your route, you have your routine. Oh, I love your hat. You're wearing a Cotton Ball hat. This is very good. This is gonna help me remember your name too. You are walking by and you hear a distinct howl just kind of behind you, just a little further down the road, maybe even in Prospect Park itself.
I arch my back and I scuttle away into the alleyway behind a trash can.
Great, great. My friends, Thimblepaw and Cat, are you going to search for Cotton Ball? Are you going to? You were talking about them, so I was curious.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Kat will sort of look around, right? She's going to edge her way carefully out onto the fire escape. She keeps looking back into the house, wondering if her human will wake up, but is very happy to see she has had a very heavy night of drinking the night before and is not likely to wake up this early. And so she sort of slips out the rest of the way onto the fire escape and carefully balances her way, jumping down from level to level and sill to sill in sort of a kitty parkour way down to her friend, Thimblepaw,
right.
and says, "Let's
Roll
go."
me to parkour.
Hiya! Okay, I have 2 successes because
Great,
I am
you're
good.
good. You are a cat acrobat. You can do this shit.
Yeah.
So you nimbly make your way down from the fire escape and enter this brick and mortar tailor shop that's looking a little worse for wear. People don't go in there as often as they should, maybe. But it's Brooklyn, so maybe it'll have a comeback.
She says, "Where do you think they would be? They could be near."
Let's check the alleyway.
All
That
right.
seems as good a place as any.
This is super fucking cool to be out here, out of the apartment. Do you do this often? This is invigorating.
Well, there are many places to nap inside the shop, so the need rarely arises, but sometimes the dream takes us elsewhere. Let us be off. And after a brief stretch and saying, let's be off, he waits for you to go first and
She
then follows behind.
kind of excitedly, with a zest for adventure, leaps out onto the sidewalk and goes skittering around, sort of enjoying for the first time, really, the feel of pavement on her little paw feet. It's a little scary, but also very exciting.
It's nice. It's definitely nice. It'll be nicer when the other shops open up and you can smell the different scents of the butchers and the bakers, but it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Trash flowing in the wind.
She gives one look up towards her like second story window and says, "You know, a castle is always nice for a queen, but one must deign to be amongst the subjects every once in a while." And she goes turning down the alleyway in search of Cotton Ball.
I pat after.
Great. I would love some notice rolls from everyone. Let's go ahead and have everyone do some notice rolls.
So this is 1 or 2 D6s?
This is 2 D6s, and this is going to be a normal challenge.
2 successes.
Great.
1 success and 1 failure.
1 success. And yeah, 1 failure. That's a 1.
Great. So you start traipsing down the alleyway, Thimblepaw and Cat, and as you're walking, you start to, or cat, you start to feel like you're being followed. It's just an inkling, kind of a tingle in the back of your neck that you feel like somebody's watching you from around the corner. But you find your friend Cotton Ball, who is just right in front of you by the trash cans.
Yeah. She kind
And now,
oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
everyone's all together now, so I'd love if you guys could talk about what you look like.
Mm.
Characters. I realized we hadn't done appearances yet.
Parker,
Yes,
why don't you
perfect.
take it away?
Let's start. All right, so Cotton Ball is a ragdoll cat, which is a mix between a sort of Himalayan, Siamese, Burmese, long silky fur, white, with some blue-gray accents on the face, the ears, the tail, and the paws. Because he's a feral cat, he's got some tiny scars around his eyes, nose, and mouth from brushing up against some thistles that he shouldn't have been sticking his nose in. And he also has a little beauty mark on his toe beans,
Oh my god.
specifically the front left paw.
All right.
There's a
Anne,
lot to
or
love
Cat.
there. I was like, who's Anne?
Who's Anne?
All right, so Cat is a rather dark colored tuxedo cat, but she is a short hair. Definitely no real way of knowing what kind of breed. Probably a mutt, a mix of different things. But very notably, she has these very one side of her face has like a lot of very scrappy white eyebrow hairs or eye whisker things, and the other side not so much. She has these yellowy green eyes that always either seem to be, it's never in the middle, it's always super dilated or just like thin slits, like I will cut you with my eyeball. And she has a very like whip-like tail that is always a sway until it's time to act.
I'm
All right.
obsessed.
Thimblepaw.
You see a large gray Maine Coon with dark gray fur, almost charcoal, and a large puffy mane as if snow had had ash fallen upon it. And you see strands, almost like silk threads of dark lines going from the face and crossing down the golden eyes. A large tail like a brush. You fluffy as hell.
So you all meet
thick
up.
with 3 C's.
3 C's. 3 C's, honey.
So you all have congregated by the trash cans.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. How can I help you, Cat and Thimblepaw?
She kind of like jumps. She lets Thimblepaw kind of go ahead of her, and then takes like a tiny look behind her to see, like, to follow that sense she had that someone was watching. Does she see anything back there?
Great. Do me another notice roll.
Yeah. All right, that's a success and a failure.
Great. So you see what looks like a tail kind of whip quickly behind another dumpster.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
kind of fleetly.
Yeah. She says, "We are not alone," and leaps upon this interloper, if possible.
Great.
Yeah.
Roll me a difficult.
Okay,
A
so
difficult roll.
3.
So we need 2 successes.
Oh, but I'm rolling
Yes.
2 dice.
But you
or-
are the right cat for the 2 dice. Yes.
Okay, but I am the right cat for the job.
But you are the right cat for the job.
Hiya. Okay, that's 2 successes.
Great. So you spring towards this trash can, toppling a very beautiful black Persian cat with piercing green eyes.
Oh,
it's me. Oh my goodness.
Why are
Hello.
you following us?
I needed to speak with, and she kind of like gestures with her ears towards Thimblepaw.
Oh.
I needed to speak with.
So her cat claws have kind of like extended into the shoulders of this cat as she's over them, and they release a little bit at the mention of Thimblepaw, and she says, "Well, nobody's stopping you." And then she goes back and sits behind Thimblepaw, all calm and like nothing just happened. Terrible.
So the Persian like shakes herself off a little bit and does like a little Marie from the Aristocats and makes sure she's all floofed enough. And she kind of gracefully struts up to Thimblepaw.
I turn and I see, is this who I think it is?
Yes.
Yes, and I incline my head in a slight bow. Ah, Lady Maxine, it is a pleasure.
Thimblepaw. Of course, of course. I'm sorry to give you a start. I was going to ask, who are your friends? And she kind of like does a little kitty squint at you two.
Yeah. Well, they are uninitiated, but they are good folk. This is Cat, and this is Cotton Ball.
Cotton Ball? Are you also known as Beans?
Very same. And I show her the beauty mark on the paw.
Oh, how charming.
Cat is just like, oh, brother. Like,
yeah, for sure. Well, I suppose you could hear this too. I'm sorry to interrupt a nice breakfast. I'm not really sure what you're doing at this hour. But Thimblepaw, and she kind of inclines her head closer to you, even though she is fine with everyone hearing. She almost it's just not safe feeling. Did you have a dream?
I did. There was yarn and thread, and all was well until a silken strand of gold, more yellow, really, almost mustard colored, descended before me, and when I reached out to bat it, it caught a flame and burned away, leaving nothing but screams and terror in its wake, and a sense that I would never be comfortable again, as if I would always have a slight tummy ache. It was awful.
Yes. Oh dear, I'm so sorry, but this is important information. If I may ask for your audience with the council.
Of course.
And you two, and she kind of like gestures her head over, you may join as well. We always need more helpers, as it were.
Of course.
So
House
she starts trotting away without like even a backwards glance at you.
Yeah.
I follow.
Sorry, Parker, what were you going to say?
Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
Oh yeah, Cotton Ball's just gonna sigh and go, house cats, always so cryptic.
Not all house cats, you asshole. And she follows along behind. They stick their tongues out at each other, and kind of her even her short hair kind of bristles a little bit along her back as her tail twitches back and forth.
Brilliant. So you follow Maxine down the darkened Brooklyn streets. A little glimmer of sunlight is peeping up over the trees. It's slow. It's slower this morning. Strange. And she walks you into a courtyard, but it's also the trash place of a building. Because that's what Brooklyn is. It's a tiny little, there's maybe 4 steps down, a little hallway full of trash cans and a bunch of empty pizza boxes and beer bottles, all PBR. And then in the back, there's a tiny little courtyard. It's circular. And as you approach, you notice that there are, I want to say, 11 other cats perched on this little ledge. I suppose it's a brick ledge holding some shrubbery. There's a small table in the middle of the courtyard, an iron wrought table with some very uncomfortable looking chairs next to it.
Hmm.
But these 11 cats on the ledge all incline their heads as you approach. They all bow as Maxine enters. Well, I have found Thimblepaw, and we may have some soldiers with him.
Soldiers.
Ah.
You didn't tell me that we're doing some fighting over here.
Well, no, but we always are looking for the uninitiated to help in our good deeds.
Well, let's not make too many assumptions. I don't know if the kingdom of the bitch is willing to help you today.
Yeah.
The kingdom of the bitch?
Yes, that is my kingdom.
Oh.
Over there. And she kind of jerks back in the direction they came from.
Oh. Your 2-foot is always at home, isn't she?
Yes. But she is an adequate if annoying servant.
A servant? You might fit in well here. So, she jumps up onto this table, this iron wrought table, and kind of gestures for Thimblepaw to take his position with the council.
I do.
My dear members, I have called you here because I have received a most harrowing dream. And having spoken with some of you on the council, it seems as if we are in grave danger. This morning, I noticed something quite strange. My owner's dog, Fifi, stood on her hind legs and walked out the door. By herself, yes, I know, a dog.
Oh.
It was shocking. It didn't seem right. But the dream that I had had the night before was one of great fear and malice. It was as if I had been swallowed whole by a large sand cat. Its maw contained thousands of razor-sharp teeth, and I felt hopeless. Its maw opened and devoured every living creature in its area. So, naturally, I thought we should talk.
About your dream? You brought us here for show and tell?
Well, no, dear. I brought you here because it was foretold that you would come. So I thought I'd be a little more proactive.
Cat will lean forward to Thimblepaw and say, you know, mon ami, I have never really dreamed much myself. But last night, I woke this morning hearing a vision, seeing an auditory. I don't know. I'm not the smartest cat, but it told me to run.
A waking dream, perhaps. Curious indeed that you, who are so removed from the dream, would experience such direct engagement. And so we saw the hounds lined up as well.
We did.
This is most concerning.
So you're saying, sorry to interrupt, that you heard something off.
Yes, I heard something, but only in my mind, which frankly is not very normal for me.
It's not normal for most. And perhaps your hearing of this is why we need you. And you, Cotton Ball, have you noticed anything strange this morning? We've been trading stories.
Ooh, I completely... Sorry, what happened to Cotton Ball in the morning? Oh, the sunrise! Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, I got it. Well, nothing out of the usual except the Sunrise was kind of wacky, though. You know, just
Wasn't it? It seemed sickly, didn't it?
Slow.
s- sickly. I mean, I guess I just felt like I was being watched the whole time, and I was gonna be someone's breakfast. I mean, it was awful, but I mean, sometimes you get bad sunrises, sometimes you don't. You know, that's the thing with sunrises. They always happen. You just don't know what kind they are.
So
Have you had a feeling like a sunrise would consume you before, Cotton Ball?
No, I think this is a first. This is the definite first.
Definitely different than
wiry-
that dank catnip.
Listen,
Indeed.
don't even talk about the catnip that I got at. Did you see it, Christopher
It's
Street?
very
catnip?
good. It's very good. No one's questioning the quality.
Sorry. Life and death here. Okay.
Of course.
So this wiry, lanky, kind of brown tabby steps forward and goes, "Are we done talking about our feelings, Maxine? I was in the middle of something. Obviously, this is just a tiger dreamer's fantasy." And she looks over and says, "Perhaps. I only thought it was important to bring outsiders in. Though I know some of us think that this should remain secret." A small little calico kind of like looks up. She has very anxious, sad, kind eyes and says, "Well, perhaps we could investigate. Maybe there's something that, I don't know, could help us figure out why all the dogs have disappeared, though I'm not really complaining." Maxine kind of nods and says, "Starling is right. We must search for these dogs, as awful as it is. But, lucky for us, all of us have pretty good smell, except for you, Snagglebutt." And the angry, like, little tabby kind of goes, and she says, "Well, let's start a search party. Thimblepaw, if you would take these lovely people, or lovely cats, with you, I think you should start to search in the neighborhood. They can't have gone far. It was only this morning that we saw their parade."
Of course. And I don't trust their ability to cross great distance so organized.
No. Even for dogs, the pack mentality can only get you so far.
Clearly.
Cotton Ball, Cat, would you be willing to help the cult of Fatar?
Gesundheit. So, is anything in it for me? I mean, like, still haven't even breakfast yet. You know, you can't have
We
a
can
soldier
provide you. We can provide you with food.
that I'm in.
Wonderful. We have access to a small bistro around the street, around the
you-
corner.
You spoil me, Lady Maxine.
We try. Our members get the best benefits we can give.
What does membership here entail?
It entails the protection of the great idea. The great idea? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you were very confused.
Yes.
Here at the Cult of Fatar, we hearken back to the year of 100 BC. I don't know. I can't
Before
read.
cat.
Before cats, yes. And there was an agreement that catkind made that we would live and coexist with humans, not as their better, but as, well, the ideal. We are the ideal, and everything they do is for our comfort, whether they know it or not. So, we like to protect that bond, and we've recognized that that bond can exist within other species as well. Dogs, even though they say are their man's best friend. But our job is to protect the people of our circle, of Prospect Park, Brooklyn. This is our home, and we must protect those that make it comfortable for us.
And so what might a house cat like me do, or how might I benefit from helping you?
I have been watching you for some time, Cat. Thimblepaw has told me of your spunk and charisma. I've watched you bound from bookshelf to bookshelf in your poor owner's apartment, much to my amusement. And
I hate
think you would be.
books.
Yes.
They
Yes.
are the enemy.
Foul things.
Yes. But nonetheless, I think you would be a wonderful addition to our cult. We always need more, I don't know, paws on the ground, as it were. There are only so many things that me and my council can accomplish.
Well, perhaps if you were to recognize the kingdom of the bitch formally, I would consider it.
Absolutely. Perhaps we can paw out a contract.
I'm in. Especially if Thimblepaw is in, because Thimblepaw, as much as it pains me, is my best friend. Don't
How sweet.
say anything to me about it. Just bask in the glow. I know you like that. Just let it wash over you. I will rub against you one time, and now we just don't touch. We just don't touch now. Now we don't touch. Don't even look at me. I know you're looking at me, you son of a bitch.
I do the cat slow eye close.
Yeah.
And then look away.
Well,
And she looks at Cotton Ball and she says, and we'll work on it.
Tell you, house cats are the most cryptic creatures on the planet.
so, my darling cats, if you would come with me to my home, I'll drop you off. I must go to the library. I know you say books are the enemy, but I happen to know someone who can use books for the betterment of humans.
She goes,
Years.
but just a little one, just so she knows that she's not into it, but she'll do it
Not
anyways.
into it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maxine, again, without a glance towards anyone, just starts trotting out of this courtyard trash area because Brooklyn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she turns down a street and down another, and she brings you to a red brick townhouse. It's rather nice. And she says, well, since I no longer live here, I am sure it has been barred for my, my owners. They got rid of me. But if you would, I've been watching them for some time, and one of their dogs has gone missing. If you would perhaps take a look inside for me. They should be asleep.
Of
Alright.
course.
Is there
Wonderful.
a good way to enter that you know of, or should we be looking for that as well?
I might try around back. For some reason, trash cans and cats always mix.
Yeah.
Indeed they do.
I know.
I don't know why that
We
one
have to
got
do
me, Parker. I know. So proud. So she's gonna kind of like slink along and trot along to the side, along the edge of the house, looking up the whole time at like where the windows are and what the best leaping path might be, and whether or not any windows seem to be open a crack or doors or things like that.
So you walk around the back of this house, and there's another tiny, poor excuse for a courtyard because Brooklyn. And you see that there is a kitchen door, no lights are on, and a large shrubbery next to a window. Above you, there are two other windows that you could presume, Kat, belonged to a bedroom of some kind. There is a small step ladder, a couple of gardening tools, a very sad little vegetable garden, and just that kitchen door.
Okay. Great. So she kind of sniffs around the vegetable garden to see if there's any signs of the dogs leaving or how many dogs were here when they left. Did dogs come and like collect this pet dog, or did they seem to leave on their own? Maybe.
Roll me a notice.
A success and a failure.
Great. So you definitely catch the smell of dog. And
Yeah.
it tickles your nose. You know exactly what it is. And you can tell that there were multiple dogs
Right.
in this garden, but you can't tell where they went exactly, or any sort of trail, as it were.
And she
But you
said,
can
just to
smell
make
it.
sure I understand, she said that there was a dog living here or multiple dogs living
There was
here?
a dog.
A
yes.
dog.
A dog.
She
A
says
dog living there.
several dogs were here. A red dawn, blood has been spilled this day. She says several dogs were here, not just the one who left. And she's gonna kind of hop up on the trash cans and see. Did you say there was anything that she could see to try and get inside or open up?
There is a window,
Yeah.
like a kitchen window, and then there are 2 windows above that you would presume would be a bedroom, and then there is 1 kitchen door that's just
Okay.
next to the window.
Is it like a screen door?
There is no screen door, but it's just a plain white door with a small rectangular window at the top
Yeah.
and a kind of brass doorknob.
Okay.
And it is it's one of those knobs that's angular. It's not a sphere.
Yeah. She says, well, I have to say, I've never tried to get inside a house, only out. I'm not sure, based on what I'm seeing, it would be possible, but we can try looking in.
The more information we have, the better.
All right, let me take a crack at it. I'm gonna see if I can get to a window to look inside.
Great. So would you like to like hop up on trash cans to see?
Yeah.
Great. So roll me 2d6
Great.
for it's an easy challenge. So if you get 1 success, you're good.
Got it. That is 2 successes.
Great. So you hop up on the trash cans very easily, and you can see into the kitchen. What you see, actually, roll me a notice roll.
Easy?
Let's do normal.
Normal, okay. So normal would be how many dice rolled?
2d6.
2d6,
2.
great.
It's always 2.
Always 2. That is a 6 and a 1, so 1 success and a fail.
Great. Okay, so you see that there has been a disturbance. On the floor, it looks as if there is mud caked on the doormat. There's like a little doormat that has scribbles on it. You can assume it's writing of some sort. And there's just mud. And it doesn't look as if the garden was muddy, so that's a little odd. That strikes you strange. The lights are out, so it's a little difficult to see exactly what else may be on the floor, but you can see that it looks a little dirty in there.
That's pretty fucking filthy in there. Hello. Wow. I relay this information to the rest of the cats.
Yeah.
I can't really say where all the mud's coming from. I mean, the garden doesn't look all that muddy.
For all intents and purposes, it does just seem like a garden.
Sometimes a garden is, if she had a cigarette, she would smoke it. Just a garden.
I love this game.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So
She's
happy.
the most like, I was about to say shot noir cat, but so can't
shook.
help myself. So she is going to try and do the same thing she did to get out, to kind of try and like slip her little paws under and start to squeeze open a hole in one of these windows.
Great. Roll 2d6.
All right,
for
that is
a
2
normal
failures.
challenge.
Uh-oh.
Okay, but you are the right cat for the job.
Yeah.
Because you are a cat acrobat.
Yeah.
So you are able to kind of get it sort of open.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. It's not
this
big
an
enough for you to
embarrassing
slink
success? Or is that what
through.
is
It is. Oh, it is. It totally is.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassing success. So what you do, you get the window
Yeah.
open, and as you are doing it, you let out a large fart.
Oh God! So in my mind,
And
can I just join you here for just
Yes, please.
just a fucking second? Just so she is like Cotton Ball is like sitting there and looking so pretty, right? And she is trying to she's like, this guy, I need to get something done. And so she starts to try to do her thing. She sticks her little feet under. She gets, just a foot under. Ah, yes. And then she manages to stick her nose under. She gets that there. And then something clicks in the window. And the pressure of the window just holds her half in and half out. And she's just, her feet are scrambling. Her eyes huge with just the slits of green as half of her is inside the house, half of her is outside, and she knows she can course correct and get her feet under her to use her back to push up, and she does the cat stretch to do it, and she goes, there, it's simple, and then jumps off and then just kind of falls on the ground because she didn't land quite right.
In the kitchen
in the
or
kitchen.
outside?
In the kitchen.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you land in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Cotton Ball, Thimble Paw, actions.
Can I follow?
You can.
I would love to.
Great.
Stifling laughter.
Great. Cotton Ball.
I'm interested in the garden, but I don't know whether or not it's worth splitting up the party for that. I'll join. I'll join. I mean,
Okay.
I'll join you guys. It's better if we're safer in numbers.
Okay. Cool.
But we're cats. What could happen? Nothing bad could happen here.
What
There
could
is
happen?
women's strength
Totally.
and pride.
So, all of you nimbly jump down from the window. You jump onto the sink, onto the counter, and then to the floor. This kitchen is rustic, but purposefully so. You can probably tell that Maxine's ex-owners had hipster phase. There are a ton of mason jars everywhere. Lots of trinkets.
Oh my gosh. She sees that mason jar and she's like, I can't explain it, but I need to push that off the shelf.
Oh no. Oh no.
Thimblepaw.
Oh no.
Hold me back.
Child.
I have to do it.
Resist.
No, I have to
Look
do it.
me in the eye.
No, I have to. I have to do it, Thimblepaw. I
By
have
the
to.
blessings
looks,
of Bast, you must resist.
Yeah, and she looks and she's calmed finally, right, by this interaction, but it was very close to going.
I like to
a
imagine
certain kind of way.
a little bit of wind comes in as I'm saying by the power of Bast, you not, and there's a little bit of breeze to the main, and it's okay, we good.
And she's
there's a
I'm
tiny
so sorry.
wave in the curtains.
I'm so sorry. I won't do it.
I'm not even going to fuck with you. I felt the same, but we mustn't. We must be.
You're right.
Yeah.
Cotton Ball. So while this interaction is happening, you're taking a look around, and you notice, first of all, the filth, the mud on the welcome mat doesn't look very welcoming, and then you catch a scent of something sharp and sour, and it's coming from further into the house.
I investigate.
Great. So why don't you roll to sniff? And do you feel like you are the right cat for the job in this scenario? Can you make that argument?
Yes, as a feral street cat, I have an encyclopedia of odors and scents in my repertoire.
Great. All right, roll me 2d6.
Great. That is a success and a 1, so that's 2 successes and a failure.
Great. So you smell this reeking, and you can tell that it's coming from what looks like a pantry door in the kitchen. And it's just a normal pantry door. It's a kind of a nasty beige color. Not really your fave, probably.
Of course not. No.
Yeah. But you can tell that is the source of the stank.
Great, and I assume that there's going to be a doorknob or some way to open it that only
Yes,
2-footers
there is
can
a
do?
handle that's similar to the one that was outside, just like a little rectangular thing that one would need to push.
Then we need to push it.
Yeah, like you push down.
Oh, I gotcha.
I wish there was a name for that kind of handle. There probably is.
I mean, it's a handle that I can understand. So you
I get it.
You've
I get the
communicated
image.
it. Yeah.
I just don't
You
know
get
how to
the
say
image.
handle.
I get
Okay,
it now.
great.
I thought
Right.
so. When I pictured in my head, I thought it was like a doorknob that was round, but it was a square.
Right.
Oh,
Like, that's what I pictured at first. I'm like, wait, push, and the galaxy brain like numbers started to.
Yep.
as it
but now-
should.
But now I understand. Yes, I understand. Can I try and open it? By
can.
just jumping and then like, you know how cats do it. You know they
I
leap.
do know how cats do. Roll me 2d6.
You got it.
I believe in a thing called cotton ball.
That's me. I got 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So you pull it ajar. It doesn't fully open, like all the way. It doesn't swing all the way
mason
open,
jar.
but it is ajar. And it does look like a light came on inside. It's one of those fun activated doors.
Oh no.
How fun.
Cotton
And
ball, you bring the dawn.
What? No, it's just it's a light. I think. Well, is
God.
it?
Thimble
Through
paw for
yonder
president.
cabinet breaks.
I mean, I just got here. I don't even know if this is the dawn or just some.
You see some
Uh,
kind of foul magic.
Cotton Ball is gonna try like paw at the edge of the door, trying to grip it to open it, but unfortunately has no thumbs in order to do so.
Yeah. Well, I would say that you're able to get it open enough that you can like wedge your face in and kind of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
body
Yeah.
open it. And you walk in, and there is this very long hallway.
Oh.
When you walk in, you notice there are like cans of things. There's food, but
Huh.
it is a hallway that gets darker and darker as you go.
Ah, well. It's been a long time since I've been in a house, but do humans have long hallways that come from the pantry?
There's
I
no
have-
understanding them.
Yeah, she says, I have a hallway. It is small. I would like a larger kingdom. Let me see. And she kind of snakes in, her tail twitching back and forth as she takes a look with interest at the length of this hall and begins with her sort of black and white tuxedo form, for lack of a better word, to disappear into the darkness as the curiosity kind of overtakes her.
Very good. Hopefully, it doesn't kill the cat. Cotton Ball
Satisfaction
and
could bring you
Thimbleball?
back.
Cotton Ball, Thimbleball.
I follow.
I'll bring up the rear.
Great.
There's no
So,
rushing.
You're walking down this hallway. It turns into a stairwell, stairs that lead down. It's still quite dark, but you keep walking for what seems like a lifetime until you start to hear this bubbling, hissing sound.
Poor Kay. Yeah, so does this sound like anything we know? Like, what makes those sounds? I'm guessing.
if you wanted to, you could roll for this, for right cat for the job.
Okay, I
Really?
will.
Okay,
Here I go.
let's do it.
That's a 6 and a 1. So success and
Great.
fail.
So you've definitely heard this sound before.
Mm-hmm.
My actual cat is me.
I know.
cat.
I was like, Helena,
knew
I
it.
hear a cat.
It's my
I
actual
calling
cat.
you.
Wonderful. So you follow this sound.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my foot. And oh my god. You follow the sound, and this stairwell turns into a large room.
Right.
There's a dim light coming from the center of it, but it's pretty far away. You just see a small flickering back and forth. Thimblepaw, can you do me a notice?
I would love to.
Thank you.
That's 2 successes.
Ooh.
Great. So as soon as you enter this room, your fur stands on end. You feel as if there are hundreds of eyes watching you. The sour smell kind of falls into your esophagus. It's overwhelming, and you feel a set of eyes on you.
We are not alone. Denizen of the dark, reveal yourself.
No movement.
Step aside, Thimblepaw. I got this. It might be a human. Oh, I tried.
Silence.
Yeah,
Just the
Cat just
gurgling.
looks at Thimblepaw and then looks at Cotton Ball and is like, I just can't. Like, I just can't. And so, Cat is going to be like, the only way forward is forward. As if it is the most deep, inspiring speech a
Yeah.
leader could give. It's
Wow.
not, but she thinks it is.
It works
Yeah,
for me.
And she's going
Wow.
to kind of like bound a little bit forward towards the area and take a better look. Up close.
Great. So the closer you get, the more sour smell fills your nostrils.
It
And
smells.
you see in the light of a single candle, that one source of light
Mm-hmm.
that you finally have approached, there is a limp paw next to it.
Sacre bleu. Okay, she says, there is someone injured here. And she kind of like calls for her friends, and she moves closer to have a look at what's gone on.
Cotton Ball
Great.
follows.
I bring up the
Okay.
rear.
Love it. So you walk over and you see a very tall, dark, and handsome, let's call
Oh.
him Tuxedo Cat.
Hello.
And his entire belly is shaved.
Oh.
And on his belly is scrawled in a Sharpie a map of some sort of topographical landscape. He's breathing.
Does it look familiar? He's breathing?
He's breathing.
Yeah. She's going to say, friend. Hello. We are here to rescue you on behalf of the council. And she looks back at Thimblepaw like, is this how we do this? I don't fucking know.
Look at me.
And then she kind of like uses she makes biscuits a little bit on his chest to see if he'll wake up. Probably fine.
I cast Lay on Biscuits.
Roll for
Lay
biscuits.
on biscuits. His breathing is steady. He's stable. And his eyes kind of flicker open a little bit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Did I scare you?
What?
Eh.
Honestly, the ambiance, yeah, it's really scary. You have like one candle, it's only lighting you from the side. It is a dark hallway, bad sounds, very bad smell. Honestly, do you smell that? Is I don't want to be rude, but is that you? Is it something?
No, it's not. It's not.
When you fell asleep, again, don't want to alarm you. There is like a really ominous map on you, on your belly.
He looks down,
Yeah.
and just this mortified look comes across his face. And he starts like shaking his head and twitching and says, "Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
It's okay.
Oh, uh and he takes a moment and kind of pulls himself together,
Mhm.
tries to make himself look like he belongs in a tux.
Oh.
And he says, "I'm George. It's nice to meet you. I
George.
don't know who took me, but I was left here. And I I don't remember anything but a long hallway and yellow eyes. Large, unblinking yellow eyes.
There was a dog in this house.
Yes. Yes, there was a dog in this house. Fifi? It's a
you
yappy
remember
little
what
poodle
happened?
that used to live here.
They left this morning with some other dogs, perhaps? Do you know anything about that?
I remember howling, but it wasn't a single dog. It must have been hundreds of them.
Hundreds.
Yes. I'm not sure how I was brought here, but what is this? And he looks down at his shaved chest.
Could I
Yeah,
investigate?
go ahead.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Roll me 2d6.
Yeah. Would I be the right cat for the job?
How do you think you'd be the right cat for the job?
I think noticing patterns, as I do live in a tailor shop, I'm familiar with seeing patterns and noticing how they connect with one another.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
cool.
Astral Weaver.
We love.
That's 2 successes.
Ooh, okay. So you look at this and you remember one time that your tailor, your owner Todd, wanted you to be an adventure cat and got you a leash. You had a terrible time, and he forced you to walk to Prospect Park. Well, mostly he dragged you there.
Oh, God.
But he stopped in one of the circles of Prospect Park. I guess it's the west side. And there was a large, well, it looked like a large picture. And on this picture, there was, it was the same kind of shape that is on George here. So you recognize the shape of it.
Curious. Well, good George, you seem to match a portion of Prospect Park. It's most curious indeed.
She nudges Cotton Ball, and for the first time is not like looking down her nose at Cotton Ball and says, you could have known, you probably know more about where this is in the park. Don't you? You see everything.
I do see everything. That's why they call me the Wandering Gossip Cat.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
As
Cotton
soon
Ball,
as
can
the
you
good
roll
feelings
me-
came, they were gone.
Good feeling gone. Roll me 2d6, dear Cotton Ball,
You got
for
it.
chaos.
For chaos. I don't know what this means, but it's a snake eyes. So
Okay, so
this will be interesting.
no,
Oh.
it's okay.
I know.
You hear footsteps on the stairs.
Uh-oh. 2-footers.
Sacre bleu! Invaders!
Let's hide.
Hiding.
Hiding.
Great.
Yeah.
Everyone roll 2d6. Cool.
2 successes.
2
Great.
successes.
Great.
That is 1 success.
Great. Okay, so Thimblepaw and Cat, you find refuge under a covered piece of furniture, let's say. It looks like a spindle, an old spinning wheel.
Ooh.
Again, hipsters. Brooklyn.
Very hipster.
Touch.
You're welcome to.
You must resist.
And George kind of clambers, almost kind of staggers next to you and hides under the thimble or spinning wheel as well. Cotton Ball, you are panicking and you are doing the classic run back and forth, spinning your wheels, just trying to find a spot. And you can't really fit into the same spot that your friends are in. And as you finally seem to find a little perch on a shelf in the corner, you hear a human voice, and it goes,
Don't respond.
Great. So two Timberland booted feet walk in
No.
and sees the single candle on the floor. Looks at it, kind of pokes it with its toe, blows it out, and takes the candle to the stairs.
Oh god.
But just as he reaches the beginning of the stairs, he turns around because he swore he saw something. He follows his nose, his instincts rather, and sees you, Cotton Ball. And it's this bearded man in a flannel, looking very tired, and holding this candle. And he looks down and goes,
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in for the little. You know how cats do when they rub against a leg. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Great.
Just initiate love mode.
He confusedly looks down at you and then pets you for a moment before going to the corner, grabbing a broom and trying to push you out up the stairs.
Did I get a treat from that, or was just like a passing brush?
Was it exactly?
Was that at
three
least
pets?
3?
What is a perfect pet look like for Cotton Ball?
Perfect pet would be he initiates. They go in for the first pet, and as a ragdoll cat does, just goes completely limp. Boom.
Okay.
And sort of just rests on his foot.
This
Okay,
asshole.
so this is definitely not your perfect pet. This is a total confused, what are you doing here? Get out. What are you doing here?
Okay.
You don't feel very welcome. So he goes and grabs a broom and tries to push you
Oh, no.
out.
Oh, okay.
Where's George in all this? Just so we have an idea.
Hiding.
He's hiding with you.
Okay, George did. Okay, made it. Okay.
Great. Comball's gonna run out the pantry then,
Okay,
and just wait for his comrades.
great. So George, in a fit of kind of anxiety, follows you.
No, George.
He just kind of
Yeah.
and runs, zoomies past this man.
Yeah,
She goes grabbing
the
for
man is-
George's tail, right? And then she looks at Thimblethorn.
Oh,
And
okay.
she goes, "You're alone."
Oh no.
And the man kind of confusedly looks around and walks over to a little panel on the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a small plastic thing,
Oh.
and he flicks
He's-
it up, and lights come on.
Oh God.
And you see that you're just in a really nasty looking little basement full
Yeah.
of
Oh.
random antiques.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see a chair, and I'm like, I must destroy the upholstery. I must do it.
Are we
must
hidden?
persist. Yeah, we're hidden, right?
You're still hidden.
Yeah.
You're still hidden.
Hmm.
Now, Cotton Ball, you are now with George
I am.
upstairs.
Yes.
Can you roll me a notice?
I sure can. That's a failure.
Okay. So someone's making bacon. You smell a lot of bacon,
Ooh.
and you probably want to go get some bacon.
I do want some bacon. I haven't
Yeah.
even had breakfast yet.
George, on the other hand, starts walking towards, I guess, the kitchen door, kind of where you came in, but the door side.
Yeah.
Great.
Do I notice that, or am I too distracted by bacon?
Yeah, you notice that he's agitated enough that he's just kind of like twitchy and like running away.
Hey, George, you okay?
Yes. We should probably leave. I don't. Things are coming back. I'm not really sure what's happening. There was a dog here. The dog's not here anymore. I can't smell him. I don't want them to come for me next.
Yeah.
Okay. You want some bacon? Because I think you'd
Yes.
feel a lot. But okay, let's get you a piece of
Yes,
bacon.
I would. So the human is stomping up the stairs at this point. He could not find you two.
Okay.
And he exits out in the kitchen. He has not had his coffee, so he does not see George or Cotton Ball, and trudges upstairs.
Yeah. She looks at Thimble and she says, "What do we do?" Shall
We're
we-
alone. It's just us two, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
We can see now. We could take a look around, see if we can find whatever they used to shave our friend's tummy.
well, that's an excellent idea. That couch is also hideous, and it's no one else is here. We can
No
get
one's here.
a
We
quick
could-
scratch as a treat,
Oh,
and then look
yes.
around.
Yes.
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 Thimblepaw, take a treat.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Scratch as a treat and for a treat.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she bounds across the room to that couch and just knife claws out and just begins to have her vengeance upon the 2 foots.
Oh
Upon this couch. It is shredded. Or that's her intent, is to shred. So
Right.
much shred.
Mm.
Shred for RP. And while she's doing it, she gets a little distracted because now, you know, the thing about being a cat is that you are satisfied for only a moment and then the world is shit again and something is not quite right. I must always be satisfied in this way, and satisfaction only lasts for so long. And so she, growing tired of her own destruction because now that's boring, because it was too easy to do, she begins to look around the room for more information now that the lights are on.
Great. So the lights are on, so you can pretty much see everything. There is a small patch of fur, kind of discarded in the corner.
Yeah.
It looks as if there is a tiny bit of blood on it, but not anything too gory, really.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, like someone was nicked.
Yeah.
Mm.
There is yeah, that's what you find. And then there is a small razor next to it.
Yes. Interesting. I suppose she wants to smell the razor to see if I mean, this is such a dumb question because obviously a dog
No,
didn't
it's
use
good.
it and a cat can't use it. She wants to try and smell the smell of whoever used the razor so that she could potentially recognize it again.
Cool.
Yeah.
It smells like the man that had come downstairs.
Yeah. She says she suddenly gets nervous about that their friends are upstairs, potentially with this man. And she says, It is him. He did this to that cat. He is a wrong thing.
But to what end? What does this accomplish? As I take one hand and just kind of one paw and just kind of rake it across luxuriously.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
So, Thimblepaw, as you touch the couch, all of a sudden your eyes kind of go back in your head. And in your head, you see that very same hipster sprawled out on the couch, eyes completely blank, and a small, fuzzy shape perched on its chest, seemingly operating him as a puppet of some sort. You can't see how this creature's doing this, but it's almost as if it's playing with this human. He raises its arms, makes it kick its legs, and then looks directly at you, and you see these bright yellow eyes, and all you hear is, "I'm back." And then you're out of this fog.
Is that where we should perhaps take our break?
That is a great spot to take our break. I totally forgot about break.
Sorry, no, I thought you might have.
Right.
I didn't want to force it, but I was like, that's terrifying and perfect. All right, everybody. So we are going to be back in about 5 minutes to enjoy the second half of this caterwauling epic tale. I don't know. I tried to make a cat pun. It's not that funny. Anyways,
That was good.
well, I said cat.
It worked.
I said a cat thing.
Yeah.
So will curiosity kill these cats? Find out. Find out when we return. All right, everybody. We'll be back in 5. Don't go anywhere. With that, nonsense shall begin.
I can do it. Here's the deal.
I gave up Christ for the midwife fucking.
No, okay, no, let's not. All right, let's calm down.
Not ponytails or cottontails, yeah, ducktails. Woo!
We're leaving the area.
If I leave the chest with you and then I make it and then you don't, then what fool are we?
Well, but then the chest will be right there, and you will have lost nothing.
She'll be dead. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Just a quick little run through the door and nothing more. Everything's fine, I am fine, and you are fine.
These poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, "Spells, Ursula, please," and I help them. Yes, I do.
Are you with me, mateys?
Arr.
Arr, arr. All right, once more with feeling.
Once more with feeling.
I'm just gonna run up the stairs and have some fun, and then you'll be on the run behind me, and it will be fine.
Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered once, it can change again.
Restore power. Ah! Fuck me, Jesus Christ! All right.
That's 33 points of damage.
Okay. Okay, put your little mouth away. Put your little mouth away!
That sounds like a meg.
So we have a kraken.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Moose! Moose! You're so cute!
Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything is fine, and ultimately the end of this game will be mine.
Alright, let's do it.
I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this! Oh my god, I hate this! I've never seen this before and I hate it! Ah! That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No, no. Ah! Ah! Jesus fucking Christ! Failing stuff and everything is good, cause I act real tough. Everything will be fine at
I just want you to know that I love that.
Yeah? Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything's fucking fine, cause this is gonna be the last time we're gonna do it this time. Yeah, fine, everything's fine.
Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me who loves to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.
Alright, here we go.
I'm gonna watch you
I did it. Oh no, you know.
Everything is fine. We're just gonna do our time in this prison of the mind. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine, and it's gonna be all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we are back with the second half of our celestial horrific tale for cats. It's for cats now in cat sizes.
Yeah.
And we are being cat herded or GM'd for the uninitiated by the fabulous GM Llama, aka Helena. We normally all play on the game Star Found, which records here. It streams and records our podcast here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our beloved GM Miles is away, and while the Miles is away, the cats will play, and so thusly we are. And so we are playing this one shot. But if you guys like it, I mean, let us know, because we're definitely having a good time. If you want to see more of this in the interim, or if you want more, just let us know. I do want to take a minute to thank Helena, while so many people are here, for preparing this for us. It's really difficult to learn a new system and teach it, but she's doing such a great job. And she mentioned it earlier, but sometimes it's cool to people listen if you big up somebody else more than when they big up themselves. So definitely make sure you go over to her YouTube channel. And Helena, if you want to pop that in the chat here for everybody,
Sure.
Go ahead and see the content she's making, because she's doing stuff every week on Fridays. New videos releasing
Friday at 12 p.m.
Yeah. And I believe you are considering doing more indie game focused stuff. Is that correct?
I definitely want to. Tomorrow, actually, my video about Cats of Catthulhu is going up on my channel, 12 p.m. Eastern, and I do want to start a series called Indie Game Corner, because how cozy is that? And also, for some reason, horror indie games are the coziest of the games.
Yeah, it's
So I have a
super
couple
crazy.
on
It's
the
super
docket.
crazy. What's up, Stabby Tabby Cat? You are of course welcome,
Stabby.
especially on this
Hello.
night of honoring the feline friends in our lives. All right, so with all that being said, let's dive back in. I'm gonna hand the reins over to
Alrighty.
Lorenzo Lamas. No, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry.
Lorenzo?
So
Lorenzo.
sorry. Lorenzo, please.
Hello.
Only Anne gets to call me Lorenzo.
Yes.
All right, so Thimblepaw, you retract your paw from this couch after having a vision, a waking dream of this man being puppeted by a small furry creature with glowing yellow eyes. You are filled with a sense of dread.
Does the yellow match that of the ribbon I saw in my dream?
Yes, it does.
Evil things walk this place. We must be cautious, for perhaps an old enemy returns.
What do you mean, an old enemy? What are you talking about, Thimblepaw? You always talk in riddles.
And very much akin to that like over dramatic chipmunk or thing from like the early 2000s, just turning and being like I just
Yeah. Wait, you're muted.
You're muted.
Are you muted?
yeah, sorry, I got a little too into
I
it.
was like, that is terrifying.
That was hilarious.
I was like, that's more terrifying than anything. I was like,
got a little too turned,
unspeakable
too ready.
horror, you say?
Truly
Literally.
unspeakable. But let's see if I can jump back
Yeah.
in. There are things that stalk the night that are not cat, nor two-leg, nor dog. Ancient enemies that would seek to undo the great idea. You enjoy air conditioning so you do not sweat profusely in the summer. You enjoy the occasional wet food and treat and pat. But should these entities have their way, we would be strays all. Our servants gone, our bowls empty. No catnip to be had.
She sort of just sits with a slump on the couch next to her friend and then looks up the stairs and says, "Well, life really is shit then," and then leaps off the couch and goes scampering up to try and find their friends.
I follow
You
with
follow.
a dramatic
Okay.
turn back, and then back again as I decide if I want to stay inside or outside, or inside
It's
or
always
outside.
difficult.
Especially if you don't have any object permanence.
Yeah,
It's true.
Haha.
Was there a couch there? I don't think it's there. I don't see it.
And it's gone.
Doing the whole Snape like.
So you both scamper upstairs. You walk into the kitchen. There is a beautiful smell of bacon. The kitchen's empty, save for George and your sweet Cotton Ball. Cotton Ball, while you were up here, were you talking to George?
Yeah, I think I was talking
Yeah.
to George. I'm the gossip.
Okay. Yes, you are.
The
Oh, that's so
wandering
true.
gossip.
That true. That
So-
be true.
George kind of shyly looks up at you, even though he has he's a little embarrassed by his shaved tux. It's quite unseemly, and he tells you this. I usually look a little better than this.
That's okay. It all grows back.
Yeah. I'm new. I'm from Coney Island.
No.
Oh,
So-
really?
Yeah, I just moved in actually a couple houses down. We're right on the park, which is nice. Though I'm really hoping my human doesn't end up getting me a leash and like forcing me to go out with him. It just looks demeaning.
Oh yeah. If that ever happens, just go limp.
Go limp?
Yeah. They'll have to either drag you or give up.
Oh, good to know. You're from around here. You know this place?
This place seems to have eluded me a little bit, but I'm aware of most locations in Prospect Park.
Huh. That's good. I'm so glad. Your friends are quite strange. They
Yes,
look
the
like
hou-
they've seen some stuff.
Yeah, the house cats.
They're house cats. That's why.
Yes.
I was a stray myself.
Oh,
It's okay. I found a forever home.
well, that's very nice.
I'm a foster success. And he kind of like sits up a little bit, like, I'm a foster success.
I can't, Helena. I cannot.
And he looks at you and then looks to the door and says, mind giving me a boost?
Oh,
And
sure.
he just kind of like motions with his head towards the door.
Yeah, I'll give him a boost.
Great. So he very clumsily, or not clumsily, awkwardly, I suppose, steps onto your back and like jumps from your back in an almost like, there's no way that could physically work, but it does. And his little paws slam onto the door handle and it creaks open. That might be easier than the window. If we want to get out of here, this place is no good.
Look at you, George, and your fancy moves.
Oh, shucks. I used to sneak on the tilt-a-whirl at Coney Island. So,
Oh, a daredevil too.
oh, you know, and he kind of like just scuffs his little paw.
He looks chuffed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So just then, that's when our dear friends Thimblepaw and
Yeah.
Cat exit from the stairwell.
She looks around immediately, and she sees them.
Yes, you
Yeah.
see them over by the kitchen door. Actually, when you get up there, you see George kind of hanging from the handle, just kind of swinging there.
Yeah.
And then he drops to the ground very deftly.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Did the door open?
Yes, the door is open.
Finally decided to show up. Did you
Well-
get kicked out or did you leave on your own?
We had some things to look for. We didn't mean to abandon you, but Thimblepaw thinks they know something. And she looks kind of nervous because I don't know. She looks Thimblepaw. Her kind of stature towards, or I guess physicality towards Thimblepaw has changed because now she has listened to the unknowable, kind of for the first time in her life, and that's bigger than her brain is sized to hold. And
That's
so
fair.
she definitely looks a little skittish.
I am torn because I sense, as you say, the unknowable, but I also sense bacon.
Oh yeah, have we eaten the bacon or have obtained bacon at least?
Do you want to have?
Yeah.
Great. So you've obtained some bacon. You got it right out of the pan. It's not on anymore, so you're fine.
Right.
Great.
But it's fresh bacon. It tastes really good. It fills you with determination.
Gotcha. I like to imagine that while
As
talking,
it so often does.
while talking, Cotton Ball has it just like in his paws, just like this, and it's just a big piece of bacon.
That's perfect.
I just realized because we're cats, bacon is like low-key
huge.
torso size.
Yeah,
It's huge,
huge.
yeah.
It's like travel bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket
big.
bacon, who dis? Travel bacon forever.
Oh no,
So
regard.
you all have your bacon. You feel rejuvenated and breakfasted.
Yeah.
And what do? You have all these points.
Yeah, so oh sorry, go ahead. Cotton Ball, please.
Well, I wanted to explore the garden. I mean, this place has been filthy, but the only dirt I can really find is in the garden, and even then, it's, from what I saw, it's pretty untouched.
It could be something buried, something the human. She thinks back on the boots, the big, like shit kicker boots, tracked inside. I've seen these foul creatures do this before. They care not for our kingdom.
Indeed. Well, Cotton Ball, lead your investigation that we may learn some secrets.
All right, follow me, everybody.
She kind of goes, but maybe not too many secrets, right? And she looks at George.
George
Maybe-
kind of like shrugs.
Yeah, maybe just the right number of secrets, the kind that won't make you go completely insane, but the kind that will keep you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 6.
Yeah, 6 secrets maximum.
Wonderful. So Cotton Ball, you lead everyone out into the garden. Is there something specific that you're looking for? It's kind of just a little allotment of a garden. Nothing is growing right now, but it does look like things have been planted recently.
In that case, can I head to the soil, perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you approach this little allotment. It's kind of held up by these wooden stakes almost to just kind of keep vermin out. You're very aware of the vermin in Brooklyn. And you notice that some of the dirt seems recently tilled, and some of it seems like it's been packed in. It's been there for a while.
I'm going to investigate the recently tilled soil.
Great. So how are you going to investigate?
That's a good question. Cats dig, right? They're
Yeah,
aware.
I can dig,
they're,
yeah.
They're
Litter
they're
boxes.
aware. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're aware of the
This is
concept of
basically a
digging.
big litter box.
Also, no, I don't want to talk about that.
Great.
Let's
Great,
not get
that-
too far into it.
I'll dig. I'll dig.
Great. Roll me 2d6 for a notice roll.
Notice roll. That is a 1 success.
Great. So, as you're digging, your paws are getting very dirty. My cat is meowing a lot. Perfect. Stop it. And your paw hits something hard.
Hello. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah. So, are you continuing your investigation?
Absolutely.
Great. So you uncover this item, and it looks like a compass.
Oh.
But I guess you wouldn't know what that is. So it looks like a round piece of plastic. And on the inside, there is a needle, a little dial, I suppose. And it's spinning around rapidly, just consistently spinning.
Oh, yeah. Oh. This thing is gonna stop or what? No,
Somebody stop me! I want to get off.
Cat,
Somebody get the Coney cat.
Does your human have something like this? Is this a human invention?
Oh. Would your human have something like this?
Who are you asking?
Oh,
Cat.
cat. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like,
Yeah.
probably me. I don't understand what it is, but it seems to be a human object. So great.
Yeah. So why don't you roll? I guess a knowledge roll.
So 2 dice.
2 dice.
Great. 2 successes.
Great.
Oh!
So you know what this
Yeah,
is.
so she bounds over.
She
Takes a look.
bounds over, and you peer at it, and you notice that it's something that your human once brought back from a failed hiking trip.
Oh,
You can assume she was outdoors. She brought back. Wait.
yeah.
What? Oh, okay. So
yeah.
She,
So in my mind, the way that I saw this happen, because often what happens with my owner is she gets really into this one kind of thing, and then she orders all of these boxes start to come to
Yes.
the apartment, and then suddenly she has to build these structures. I leap upon them and knock them over because everything the light touches is my kingdom. But I remember there was one time where she laid out this paper on the ground, and I would lay on it, and she would take that little spinny thing and set it down on the paper, and sort of she was trying to draw on the paper, and I would go, no, drawing is not for humans. It is I decide when you create. I decide. It is my kingdom. But she would sit there, and I noticed the similarity between the spinny thing and the little compass wheel on the what some 2-foots might call a map. How you say map?
Great. So, you approach it, and you know all of this. However, the needle is still spinning just rapidly.
Right. It didn't do
Do you
that.
do
though.
anything with it?
Yeah, she's going to because this is how her brain works. She kind of like tries to and get like bat it out of the hole, and she tries to catch the spinny. Like she's like stop.
Great. So you notice that when you catch it,
Yeah.
when you have your paws on it, it
Yeah.
stops. The needle comes to an abrupt stop, pointing at your new friend George.
Yeah. And so then she starts to put together the idea of like a map and what that is and what this would be, and she says, it's to find you. But who would bury such a thing? Someone
Me?
who did not want to be found.
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But it does. You're
Yeah.
so right. It looks like this, and he
Yeah.
like points to his stomach.
Yeah.
It looks
She-
like this one.
So she now becomes very militaristic. The way she had to be growing up in the pet shop, right? With so many other cats. And she's like, all right, troops, here is what happens. When an enemy does not want to be found, they make sure to throw you off the scent. This friend, he is some sort of, how you say, key to find whatever this is. So someone wanted to make sure that they were the only person with this information. So they buried what they used to find him, which did you know that was there before you were shorn?
No. I don't think it. I mean, the last time we don't like to talk about it, but the last time I had my belly shorn, they got rid of some vital things for kitten making. So that's the last time, and there wasn't anything on it then. So I'm not really sure what this
The
is.
darkest
I'm guessing
day.
they did. I don't know. I don't know any cat that could do this.
I don't know that a cat would have to. And she looks at Thimblepaw, who's told her of this vision, right, that they had of the
Yes.
operating.
There is a creature that may take stronger energies than we possess and influence the two legs in such a way that they may act strangely. For we cannot manipulate such crude things as would require thumbs, but for such reasons, the two legs have their uses. Our enemy knows how to use them. Perhaps this symbol on you could be found at the park. And Cotton Ball, you know the park. Perhaps that is where our journey lies, as you are the key to this map, George. Perhaps we shall enjoy a Sunday in the park.
With George.
Nailed
Nailed
I did it!
Nailed
Take
it.
another treat. Holy
Amazing.
shit.
What am I supposed to do in these situations? She's going to kind of like pick up the compass in her mouth and bring it over to George and say, and she kind of leaves it at his feet and she says, only you should get to decide whether you want somebody to find you.
Find me? Well, you found me.
Right.
I didn't
and
really
she shows him how it works, right? So that when she touches it, yeah.
Yeah. So it like does exactly the same thing. It stops. And this time you notice it stops pointing at George.
Yeah.
Again.
And so she just kind of like nudges it towards him and says, I think you should either hold on to this or we can bury it in a place where only you know where it is.
Well, I mean, we could take it to the park and you could use it. I mean, I have nothing to do today. I really don't really have anything on my agenda.
Well, do you want to come with us?
It would be kind of nice to know why I was kidnapped. I don't know.
It
I'm
is
like
a
from
terrible
3
thing
houses
to
down.
be kidnapped.
It's not fun.
It happened to me when I was young. I was taken from my mother and then in a place with so many cats that all of them bitches.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I conquered them and became their queen, and now look at me. So, you know,
Wow.
good things can happen for you too.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe this map and this item
Yeah.
is like a gonna help me figure that out.
Yeah.
Maybe to the park.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and Cotton Ball, you know where to go.
Yep.
Of course I do. What do you think I am? Some sort of average tomcat?
Well, yes,
all.
I think
No.
that is true, actually. Yeah.
Cat, no.
I'll
Please
have-
do read the room.
I'll have you know that I was bred to be the perfect kitten for cuddles.
I hate you. And then she she kind of like gives a look back. She like starts how would we pick up this compass? Like how would
With your
we-
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she looks at him and she says, "You're not stealing my kingdom, cat." And then she picks it up in her mouth, and that shuts her up, and she begins moving
Great.
towards the sidewalk and realizes she doesn't know how to get to the park, so she has to wait for everybody.
Great. So, Cotton Ball, will you take us there?
Keep up, and
Great.
I'll lead the way.
Great. Roll me a 2d6. Always 2d6.
2 successes.
Ooh.
Great. You know exactly where to go. So on the way, you're passing through all of your haunts, and let's even say that as you're walking by, 2 people stop to pet you. One little child who's like on his way to school sees you, backpack on, goes, "Oh, Beans! It's Beans! Oh my God, Beans!" and comes over and gives you a pet on the
Legendary.
head and a little scratch behind the ears. You get a treat. And then the second person, someone who is sitting outside of the Nighthawk movie theater having a smoke, sees you and kind of goes pss, 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 and gives you a little pet.
This
So you
motherfucker's
have your 2
spitting.
treats.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive to everyone. And George kind of like smirks over at you and is like, "Ho ho, look at you, mister." And you lead them to the west, I guess, traffic circle of the park. There are these 2 large columns right in front of the park entrance and just a ton of trees.
Mm-hmm. All right. She
What do?
starts to head in. She's a cat of action. A cat catching cat. Nope.
Aha.
Continuing on past that bed pun.
Yeah. As we head in, Thimble Paul will say to Cotton Ball, "You are indeed a cat of great power and persuasion.
I've been told.
Most impressive."
Everybody loves me. And everybody knows me. What can I say?
So, if you would, dear Cotton Ball, roll me a notice check.
Got it. 2 successes.
Dang. Okay. So as you're going through, you are kind of going on your usual path. You avoid the joggers at most junctures when you end up frolicking around the park. And so you kind of go off to the side on this more wooded and dirty trail. And you notice a distinct line of paw prints, like trudged into the sand. Some even looked as if something was dragging an animal through the mud.
I wonder if the dogs made their way through here.
They are clumsy bitches. And she comes over and has a look. And she wants to see, because she's a house cat. She lived in a pet store, so can she try and determine if these are dog tracks?
Yeah, roll me 2d6.
Right, those are 2 successes.
Great, you know exactly what kind of tracks these are, and they are doggo tracks.
Dogs.
And yeah, and you can also just kind of smell. The closer you get, you get that kind of stenchy doggo smell. Yes, they are dog tracks.
And she says, "Well, we are in the right place. Now we must get to wherever that is." And she looks at Cotton Ball and says, "Would you deign to take us there?"
All right. Let's go deeper in the park then.
Whatever we do, we should be cautious about it. And she begins to kind of slink into the shadows the way that she does.
Oh, yeah, roll me some stealth stuff. We'll keep you...
Roll me some stealthy cat.
Stealth.
That's 2 successes.
Great. Yeah, you're
Ooh.
doing great. You're like slinking behind trees
Yeah.
and shrubs and bushes.
What time of morning is it?
It is about 10 a.m. at this point.
Wow.
So there are
Sun-
some joggers in the
pick up.
park, but you've stayed on the kind of side path that Cotton Ball would know.
So the sun's starting to peak up a little bit?
Yes, the sun is out. The sun is
Okay.
out. It feels off still to you. There's
Hmm.
still this kind of sickly quality to the light that's filtering through the trees. It doesn't feel warm. And cats are nearly reptilian in their love
That's
of the
weird.
sun.
Yeah, because I really wanted to just have a moment where, as we're walking, I find whatever choicest little rays of sunlight I can and try and
Yeah.
absorb and commune, and it feels
So
lacking.
yeah, how about you do that? That's great. So as you're walking, you find these moments of sun. However, every time you step into these rays of sun, you feel sick to your stomach a little bit, like you're about to have a hairball. And it's not a good feeling. And you know you had a hairball last week, so you're not due for another one for like a month. So so you're confused by that. Fact. And so it's just kind of a nauseating feeling that you're having as you're kind of trudging through the underbrush. And Cat is slinking in and out of the trees, following Cotton Ball. George is kind of behind, but he's following, very wary of his surroundings. Great. Cotton Ball, roll me a notice check, please.
Notice check, notice check, notice check, notice check. Blech! 2 successes.
Dang, y'all are doing well. Okay, great. So you, as you're walking down this path, following these tracks in the ground, you hear a yelp, like just a quick, like an animalistic scream, and it's coming from further down the trail, near this field. There's a large field. That is notoriously muddy because there's terrible drainage, and you know to avoid it. And this like old structure, this old kind of red brick building, but you see those up ahead, and you hear the yelp kind of echoing throughout the field.
I'm gonna investigate stealthily, like through the bushes.
Great. So roll me a quick stealthy check.
Stealthy check, stealthy check, stealthy check.
Stealthy check.
I'm gonna use one of my treats.
Use a treat.
Alright.
I need to get on getting some treats. I don't know how to. I gotta kill some
Pets.
Kill some people.
Yeah.
That's how I get
Or
treats.
get some pets.
Yeah.
I need to catch a mouse, catch a squirrel.
Okay, that's 1 success. That's good. That's better.
Okay, so you know for certain that this yelp was that of a dog.
Okay. Yeah, thought so.
Cool.
And you said there was this red brick building.
Yeah, it's a large. It looks like a home to you. It's similar in structure to a lot of the Two Foots places that they live. Yeah.
That might be worth investigating, I think.
Great. So, my music cut out. That's fine. So, do you want to approach the building? Do you want to? What are you feeling?
I'm gonna approach the building.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you get closer and closer to this building, are all of you going?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
I'm
Great.
gonna enter, but also,
Yeah.
as I'm a real sleepy cat, always last.
Yeah.
Great. So, you start approaching this building, and it's on a bit of a hill, and the grass is not very well kempt in this area.
Yeah.
But you go forward, and Thimblepaw, as you are trudging up this hill, you start to hear a low, rumbly laugh.
That's probably fine.
It just kind of bounces between your ears in a really like sonorous kind of way as you're going up this hill. Notice rolls from everyone.
I would
please.
love to try and
Wait,
try
first.
and pierce where it's coming from, as if like hearing the sound is thread as I am
Okay.
the astral weaver, trying to
Sure.
weave the sound together.
Great. You are definitely the right cat for the job. Roll 2d6 for me, Dex. Thimble Paw.
That's 2 6s.
2 6s?
Yes, first time.
Okay, so that is something in this game called Midnight. So,
Yeah.
The wind
great
picks up!
success. It's great. So let's see. How do you connect to the astral plane? What does that look like for Thimblepaw?
I like to harken back to when I was a kitten and I was teaching Todd how to take over his father's business. And he was young at the time as well, just like a small 2 legs, still larger than me, but I walked around a pattern and taught him how to like make the first new thing that helped to like revitalize the shop. Like that new pattern then became popular as the dream is a series of strands for me of ribbons of things more comfortable than the last. And hearing an unpleasant sound, this tapestry of discord is wrong in my presence. And so I follow that thread to its location.
So, almost in a daze, you notice a single yellow, glistening thread that is there and not there, coming from your forehead, like right in between your eyes, towards a small door situated inside of the hill.
I approach.
Okay.
Do we notice that you're going off book, or?
I'm not hiding it.
Great.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So I'll commit right now, right here, to saying that I think her kind of awareness is probably pretty high as far as Cat is always about like what the next thing is, and so she's sort of the herder in this situation, like trying to keep like she's breathing a little hard because she's got the compass in her mouth, so she's like it's not as graceful as perhaps she would like, but she kind of gives a up in the direction of Cotton Ball and George, and then heads off slinking with little feet down the hill towards Thimblepaw.
Great. Cotton Ball, do you follow?
I follow.
Great. So George is coming with you, trepidatiously for sure. Trepidatiously? That's a word.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is.
Bodaciously.
Bodaciously
and bodaciously.
That's where you're nervous. That's where you're nervous, but you do a hair toss anyway.
Yeah, like
exactly, because you have to commit. It's theater. You're like, oh, I'm stressed, but I'm still serving looks.
So George follows you, Cotton Ball, up this little hill towards these shuttered doors that are like inside of the ground. And I don't think any one of you has ever seen doors that were in a piece of ground. Cotton Ball maybe in your travels around the park, but I don't think you ever really gave a second thought to it, that humans could live beneath or could go beneath what is.
I feel like cats are about status, right? And so the idea is that one of these creatures would want to live below the ground is terrible. My greatest wish is to live on the top floor.
Yeah.
You know? She doesn't, the idea that someone this is already very wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you approach this door. It looks like kind of rotten wood, terribly painted, this like olive green color. It's sickly. The feeling is just tangibly sick around this house.
Yeah.
What do?
The thread leads here.
The thread leads here and then kind of fades into the door itself.
Oh, hate that, love it.
Make a decision, Thimble.
I'm obsessed. I love this game. Okay. I I turn as I'm having so much fun. Give me serotonin. It's here. I turn to my companions and I say, for this next leg of our journey, we'll need all the blessings of Bast and Sekhmet as we continue into the under.
The
Whatever you
under? We will be
The
expected to
under.
go beneath the earth?
To temporarily go below, but remember that we are tigers, all of us from the saber-toothed ancestors. We reign above all we see, so we bring the above below.
So she, as Thimblepaw is speaking, I'm realizing that the truth is probably that in their friendship, Thimblepaw speaks like a purr, and it comforts her. So like all of this anxiety and angst that she is in her chaotic cat life, like Thimblepaw is probably the one cat who can center her. And so before she kind of realizes what she's doing, she's kind of lulled into this trance-like state by these comforting words of their history and this truth that she doesn't quite understand from the ancient times, because she is definitely not a tiger dreamer, right? But that truth resounds somewhere in her bones, and she looks down and she's making biscuits in the grass.
Take a treat. Take a
Yeah.
treat. Have a treat. So as you're making biscuits in the grass, although you are perhaps a reincarnation that is not old, not ancient, like your friend Thimblepaw, you feel as if with every biscuit that you put into the ground, circles of sound and waves come out from your feet. And I don't think you would understand that as a cat being literal sound waves, but it will feel as if the time that you put your foot in your water bowl to see what would happen. And it's a cool sensation, like literally chilly for you. Great. So you're at these doors, and they don't really have a handle per se on them. They look old. And they are olive green.
Yeah.
And it looks like they had at one point a little latch on them that like held them open or held them closed.
Yeah.
But the latch has rotted away.
Can I move forward and kind of headbutt the door to see if it just opens in?
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll me 2 cat dice.
Two successes.
Two successes. Great. So you kind of headbutt them.
Yeah.
And one of the hinges falls. One of the hinges just kind of rots away.
Jump straight up that cats do when something happens they're not expecting, and then I'm like, it's fine.
It's fine. And that was not an embarrassing success, but I'm glad you added that, even though
it's just it's just what cats do. It's what cats do. It's what my character would do.
It's what you do. It's what you do.
So this rotting wooden door clanks down the stairs underneath the earth itself in this very loud cacophony of echoes.
She's doing that like pushing backwards through space, but her body is like in shock, so she's doing that thing that cats do where they're pushing back but they haven't exactly moved very far back. And then the curiosity comes back immediately, and she peeks over the edge.
Great. Roll me a notice.
A success and a failure.
Okay, so what you notice is a single drop of blood.
Oh!
Just one. You see this single drop of blood about halfway down the steps.
Yeah. She says, "They are here." And then slinks into the shadows because she just can't resist being a dark shadow in the shadows. She just can't do
You're
it.
the cat cravat.
Yeah, she moves down towards it.
Awesome.
Who's here?
Whoever is performing these dark works upon our friends.
Question.
answer.
Can we please, because I'm just so obsessed with it, can we just say that you have like a little cat cigarette of catnip or something? Because I love the phantom like ooh, or like I don't know, just I love it. It's such a
It's
mood.
just what you have to. It's just what you have to imagine.
You
Yeah.
imagine it.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
It's a cigarette of the mind. It's a
Yeah.
French cigarette of the mind.
Yeah.
My question is, would a cat smoke a cigarette like this or like
Like
this?
I mean,
Oh.
these are all important questions, but I
World building.
don't know that we are going to answer them in today's.
Fair.
No.
Yeah, no, I
in
don't think
today's
so.
story. So she says, I think we're going to have to be on our guard. This is not going to go easily. And she like indicates the blood on the ground. Does it smell like human blood? Does it smell like dog blood?
Roll a notice.
2 successes.
Ooh.
5 and a 6.
All right. So it smells. It smells like that sour smell you smelled back at the house, as well as there's a distinct human quality.
Yeah. And she says, it's not the dogs. It's more of the 2-foots.
Oh. Well, I guess we better be careful then. You know?
She goes slinking down the stairway, just curious as ever.
Let
Can't
us
help
not
it.
go gently.
No, not at all. And she goes, shink, shink, and she extends her claws to kind of grip and like peer around corners and then move and peer around corners.
So it's a single stairway, so you're still traveling down, and it's quite deep.
Yeah.
Do you all
she
go
do a go.
together, or do you like kind of one at a time? How are you moving?
Together. I
Yeah.
assume.
It would be single
Together.
file based on the size, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Great. So as you're moving along into this dark stairwell, you are creaking with every footstep. These are old stairs. It's a small creak, but it's noticeable to a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you get, all 4 of you, including George, get inside, the doors at the top slam shut with a large resounding whack. And you are plunged into darkness. You can see your cats,
Thanks for
but
reminding
it's
me.
rather dim.
This is anathema to us. We must always have the option to go outside or inside or
We decide.
outside.
Yeah.
George kind of shivers and goes, "Oh, this is not this. This is like the house, the haunted house at Coney Island. Oh, geez."
She in an effort to comfort him, kind of the way when people would get like riled up in the very small pet store where they kept way too many cats in one space, kind of like rubs up against him, but not in like a I'm trying to comfort you way, just like in a I need you to be quiet now, so I'm gonna put my body against you so that you feel grounded, but shut the fuck up for a second.
Yeah,
type
no,
of
he
way.
gets
Yeah.
it and kind of
Yeah.
like quiets
Yeah.
himself and tries to like calm his
Yeah.
breathing. Are you all moving forward?
She says to Cotton Ball, she says, blood is, I've drawn blood before. It was incredible, but that's besides the point. I think maybe if we run into these humans, you'll be more enticing for them, distracting to them. They
If you're trying to flatter me, I don't really think you're really getting it. But I get what you're trying
Well, I'm
to
not
say.
trying to flatter you. I'm just saying that unfortunate truth is that people like you get ahead in life very easily.
Watch your tone there.
Well, I
You
don't
know
need-
my life.
When it comes to getting treats and being treated like,
Well, I don't disagree with you there, but
I don't think the unfortunately was necessary.
well, she says, I saw you at one time. when bitch went outside and you rubbed against her and she pet you.
It's
saw that.
It's what I do, Cat. I
That's
don't know
my
what...
2-foot. He's my servant, not for you to have pets from.
I get pets from everybody. I don't see why your owner
I
is
covered
so
George's
special.
eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, and she says, so you'll just have to excuse me if I'm a little ruffled.
Well,
All I'm saying
is your owner still yours?
for now.
Great, then I didn't take them away, did I? I never take anyone's owners away, because I ain't got no owners.
As you're going down the stairs,
very
having
sad.
this very saucy little
Yeah.
combo,
So much sauce.
you can tell that there is a light somewhere emanating off the stairwell down the stairs. It's getting a little lighter.
Yeah.
And you, behind you, actually, can you give me a notice roll, dear cat?
Okay.
Dear Cat.
Dear cat.
2 successes.
Ooh.
You hear a distinct drip, drip from behind you.
She's gonna go up on her hind feet and turn and look over the backs of everybody who's kind of like trundling around her.
You see 2 more drips of blood accompanying the first that you saw.
Behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Are they
Up the
where are they?
stairs.
Where? Oh, so
You're
that's
heading
the way we
down the stairs. So behind you, you hear the drip, drip.
So the drips are following us?
No, it's the same place.
Oh.
So the drips are
we've passed
happening
it.
where
Okay.
you first
Oh,
saw.
okay. So she's now going to say, wait a second, and then she's gonna move up towards the drips, and instead of looking down the stairs, she's going to look up at the ceiling.
You are met
Oh no.
with cold, unfeeling eyes of a large hound dog pinned to the ceiling. Something is pouring out of his mouth, a yellow liquid of some sort, and he is dripping blood onto the stairs. He has a large, I guess, chunk of fur cut out of his head that looks like the sun.
So
I'm thoroughly concerned,
So
and now
she-
here we are.
yeah.
Oh man.
So she takes this in and she looks at them and he says, "This is what you get for being their best friend, mon ami." And then she looks at the others and she says, "The 2-foots are capable of such things, such terrible things to those they believe serve them."
I've never seen a 2-foot do something like that. Have you?
I have seen 2-foots be cruel. I have seen 2-foots take what is not theirs. I have seen 2-foots shatter the glass that keeps people out of the shop at night and take what isn't theirs. I have seen them do terrible things. And I don't intend to let them do anything terrible to me.
Good, because in the list of terrible things, I think this is like top 10 at least.
Well, I mean, I've never seen someone, if you're asking specifically, Kat, have you seen someone start some crazy sun cult and like carve things into animals? Fucking no. You asshole. No, I haven't seen that before. This is something else.
A low, purring, rumbly laughter echoes from side to side, almost bouncing up the stairwell past you.
Yeah, she looks down towards the source of it. Is it still light down there?
There is some light. It's a flickering, dim light. You can't see it yet, so the staircase ends at the bottom, and then to your right, it opens up into a large room. But you have
Cool. All right,
You
she's
want to
gonna
go to
she's
there?
gonna yeah, she's feeling the urge to revenge. I think she doesn't like dogs, but she also like has lived amongst dogs before, and so she pities them.
Mhm.
She pities this creature in a way, and so uh, she feels ready to face whatever did this thing. So she's gonna definitely be confident enough to move down and have a look into that other room.
As
Great.
we are about to leave, I'll wait for them all to pass as I'll bring up the rear, but I'll look to the dog and say, from our pride to your pack, may you find rest in your hunting grounds. And as I turn down, I'd like to just kind of use whatever cat psychic things I can to just kind of
Mm.
feel back through the generations and channel the saber tooth and just kind of bare my fangs a bit as we walk down,
Cool.
getting
So
ready.
as you say this in your mind, in your
Mm.
being, you say this. Uh, as you're looking at this beagle, you see its face change, its eyes slowly close, and a small bit of relaxation comes to his face. His fluffy little jowls look more content as you pass, and you feel bolstered in your connection to the saber tooth as you walk into this dimly lit room. Cotton Ball, do you have anything you want to do? How are you entering this room?
Carefully, and
Good call.
yeah, and
Sick.
stealthily.
And stealthily. Actually, let's have all of y'all roll me another stealth. Let's get this.
Cool. 1 failure and 1 success.
Okay.
What? I got a double. I got snake eyes.
One failure, one success.
Am I able to use a treat for snake eyes?
You can. I don't know. Hold on.
One
Please
second.
hold.
Let's consult.
Please hold.
Let's
It's taking
consult.
1 second.
So for anyone who might be new here, while Helena is looking at the rules here and checking up on what we can do, we typically are playing Starfinder on Thursday nights. We're without our GM tonight, but hopefully you'll be able to come back and see us enjoy a wild spacefaring fantasy adventure. So please come back in following weeks. If you haven't given us a follow, give us a little follow, and come on back now. You hear? Back to you, Helena.
Great. So you have just rolled what the kids call an embarrassing failure.
Yes.
No.
Correct.
Which is basically a crit fail for Cats of Catthulhu.
Yes, it is.
What does your embarrassing failure look like as you stumble into this dimly lit wine cellar?
I think. Got it. I got it. So, Cotton Ball is carefully, climbing down, but these stairs, I swear, these stairs are so wide apart and so tall. And he missteps and he trips, and immediately the ragdoll brain just like, gotta go limp. Like you get less hurt. You'll get less hurt if you go limp. And so it's just halfway up the stairs and then halfway down.
Yeah.
Cotton Ball just going like just all the way to the bottom.
Brilliant.
Oh, bloody.
So you land in a cotton ball of fur. Yeah. And a thud when you hit the earth. It's dirt down here. So you're not injured, you're just embarrassed. You shake yourself off and stand up. And you peer to your right into this large wine cellar. And it looks as if there are hundreds, to you that it looks like hundreds of wooden shelves with bottles on them of different kinds. And out of the corner of your eye, you see a single cattail flick around one of the shelves. Yes, Dex.
Question. Is it a literal cattail or like a cattail reed?
Oh, a literal cattail, not
Okay,
a plant.
cool.
Ah.
Cool.
Combal's gonna chime up. Hello? Is anyone there?
So, around the corner pokes a familiar face. A sweet little calico face.
No.
A very kind calico face. She rounds the corner, but you can see her eyes don't have that kind, glowy quality that they did earlier today when she was sitting with the cat council in the courtyard.
Everything is fine and we're gonna be
They are
all right.
flat and yellow.
Oh my god.
Seaver.
She opens her mouth and bugs fly out.
You are a word criminal.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
But these yellow locusts
Yeah.
pour from her mouth and they
Yeah.
fly and they kind of surround you for a moment and then pass. And with her mouth still open, you hear a growling laughter, the same one that you all became aware of as you were approaching. You hear a voice say, "I've been waiting. I'm so incredibly happy you've joined me. We always need more of the rulers of this world here. Right, Cat? We need those that know what it is to have a kingdom, to have people at our beck and call. So thank you for joining me." And her mouth snaps shut.
Mm-hmm.
And around the corner comes Snagglebutt, also the wiry brown tabby. And he's moving as if being controlled,
Yeah.
really, like he's a puppet,
Mm-hmm.
as if he has strings attached to all of his limbs. And he approaches you and looks up at Cotton Ball from a slinking position, his head turned in an unnatural direction. You know.
Yeah.
And he says, "It's best if you come quietly. Come with us. Follow, or be forced."
No
And
one
he
forces me
waits.
to do anything. And she's going to like swipe forward at one of
Great.
them.
Awesome.
Whoever's
So we're going to
closest.
do a version of initiative.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So everybody roll 1d6 for me.
Okay.
That's a
Correct.
5.
6.
All right. Wait. can you
Rathwin
say
says, yes, obedience. That's absolutely what you can expect from cats.
Right, definitely.
Nice.
Sorry, could everybody say that one more time for me?
6.
5.
3.
Okay, so Ann and Dex roll once more.
1.
6 is what I had before.
Great.
This time I'm rolling a 3.
Great. Let me roll for George.
Poor
Let me roll
George.
again.
Oh, for
Okay.
George.
Turns to me that
Watch
sign
out for
language
that tree,
is
buddy.
A lot like 3.
And then we roll for Starling.
Starling? Who's Starling?
The betrayer.
Calico. The Calico.
Oh, gotcha.
Helena, this is so fun. I'm dying.
I'm so,
So
glad you're having
good.
fun.
Oh man.
Okay. So, Anne, are you swiping? You are first in initiative, which
yeah,
is
whoever
great.
is whoever's closest, right? The one that she feels like she can
So-
surprise, quote unquote.
Snagglebutt is definitely
Yeah.
the closest.
I knew he
And
was
you're
a
a cat
problem.
acrobat, so you have an
Yeah.
automatic success on your roll to swipe.
Yeah.
Are you aiming to injure this cat?
I want Snagglebutt is the one with its head all turned weird, or
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So
You can,
these are the words I'm saying. Snagglebutt's the one with like Their head turned weird.
Go back.
And she is trying to like hold this cat down to see if there's some way to like draw out whatever is controlling them.
Cool.
Yeah.
So roll me 2d6. One of them is an automatic success, as you are the right cat for the job.
Cool. That is
Nice.
1 success.
Great. So you're able to pin him to the floor, to the dirt floor of this cellar, and he looks up at you unblinkingly and says, "Oh, there are more. I am but one pawn of the great Tom in Yellow. Just one. There are more of us. Kill me." Yeah, right. But he is pinned. All right. Action from Snagglebutt. He's going to try and get out of your grasp.
Thanks, Gus, for that
is
sub.
1 success. So he is able to wiggle out from your grasp. He can't get very far away from you, but he is out from your paws. And I'm sorry, it's
Great.
wild being a GM and having to keep track of like.
You're like,
people's
all right, I'm
wins.
still that's my turn, and now it's still my turn.
And now it's still my
Yeah.
turn. Dex.
Yeah.
Dex, would you like to
Um,
take an action, my darling?
I would love to. Would I recognize the name Tom in Yellow?
Roll me this game's version of a mysticism check, which is 2d6, believe it or not. And you get an automatic
Hey.
success because you are the right cat for the
right
job.
cat for the job.
Well, that's 2 successes. Technically, 3.
No!
Great. Okay, so that is great. So you have heard tell legends of something called the Tom in Yellow or Hatspur. And Hatspur is an entity that seeks to control others in the service of catkind. This is where your newly found cult, your newly found belief system, butts heads. It is the idea that we work together as humans, which is what you believe. Your cult Fatar believes that.
Right.
Versus we must figure out a way to rule humans, and the great idea was not so great. And we must search.
Heretic.
Yes. So we must search for a way to subjugate and exploit these lesser beings.
Could I roll to see if there's a way to subvert the charm of the Tom in Yellow?
Yeah, you can try.
Find
me
some kind of thread of influence connecting the two.
Okay. Yeah. Let's maybe in that case you'll have to take a turn to go into the corner and like have a dream.
Yeah, I would love to do that next
Okay.
week.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I can have that be your next turn.
Excellent. Looking
All
forward to it.
right. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much. And now Starling, our dear Calico sweetheart, will be rolling. She got 2 successes, and so she is kind of further back than Snagglebutt was, but she's going to approach you, Cat, and try and usher you forward with a great amount of force. She's trying to shove you essentially further into the wine cellar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So she takes your little body and
pushes me forward.
pushes you forward.
Yeah. So I kind of like do that cat stumble, but like recover as she pushes me off of the of Snagglebutt.
Yeah.
These are the words. that
I
I'm
know.
saying.
And Parker, it is
Yes.
your turn. You have been pushed in.
I am going to stun Starling.
Great. How are you going to do that? What is your goal?
It's a good question. Good question. I mean, I thought of just doing like a cat bap, you know, like the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's do the cat bap.
Great. Roll for that.
That is 1 success.
Okay, so you throw her off kilter.
Great.
Right, so she's not stunned completely. She still will act next turn, but she is a little like thrown, which means that Anne, you might be able to take a step away from her.
Okay.
George is now going to intervene, and he's not going to roll for this because he's going to step kind of into the middle and say, "Is it me you want?" and like show his belly, kind of like flop over and show what is scrawled on his belly. And Starling, with her kind of glazed over yellow eyes, looks over at George and says, "Oh, sweetheart, you were just for the humans. Your entire life was just for the humans." And she's going to lunge, or start to lunge. She won't actually yet, but George is in the middle, belly exposed.
George, no.
Wonderful. Next, we have Anne. You have
Who's
been pushed...
Anne?
I mean, sorry.
I'm giving you shit.
We have Kat, and you've been pushed forward, but now Starling is distracted by George and by Cotton Ball.
So I have this is cat acrobat senses have been activated by being forced to do a thing, and that's not something you do to cats. So Cat hisses and begins to try to hurt the cat who pushed her, Starling.
Okay.
So do I need to roll? Is this a dire challenge or?
I'm gonna say. I don't think it's dire. I think it's rather difficult though. So 2d6. You need 2 successes.
Great. All right. I got a 6 and another 6.
Damn. Okay, so this is a crit success. How do you want to do this?
Oh man. All right. So she pushes me, and then I see her turn on this poor George, who has just had the worst day. And though she is queen, she is not without some forms of empathy. And she launches herself at this cat, and they're like in like a ball of just kicking feet against her. And when she's jostled enough, she pulls up her paw and goes shing, and her knife like claw comes, and she just scratches across the cat's throat and shreds it, because her very lazy owner does not do a good job of cutting her nails, so she's quite dangerous.
Okay, so Starling is injured. She's not looking very good. She starts bleeding a little bit out of her throat, but strangely, and you'll notice this, Cat,
it's just bugs.
No, that'd be disgusting.
Yeah.
And why didn't I think of that? But
Sorry.
It doesn't faze her. It's as if she doesn't feel the pain that you've inflicted. Her eyes are still that strange glazed over yellow. And she's kind of smirking at you.
Yeah.
Snagglebutt is going to go now.
Snagglebutt, no.
Snagglebutt. And he's going to fail desperately as he tries to shove you off of Starling. You are still holding her down. All right, Dex, you are going to take your turn to have a bit of a dream.
I'm going to pad over to the corner and just... I am doing Lady Bastard.
Oh, God.
Just a little narcoleptic moment for our tiger
just a little
dreamer.
little nap. I'm a little tuckered out. I need to have the vision.
So you fall asleep, and the thread introduces itself to you once more, kind of winding and curling up a second stairway. It's not the one that you saw before, but it's somewhere down here. You can feel it in your bones. And it winds up and curls around this Weimaraner, this beautiful gray athletic dog.
Oh.
And it curls around his neck in a caress, not in an ensnarement of any kind, but it curls around, and then through the caress, the Weimaraner's eyes glow a yellow. The same yellow.
No.
Yeah. So that is your look inside, as it were.
Yeah. I guess as my turn ends, I wake up and say, "We may have to deal with a hound soon. We are not alone."
Did you say hound?
Yeah.
I did say hound.
Hound.
And again, doing the whole
Yeah.
Snape like.
It's also like one who has seen the eye, like type situation.
Oh, it totally
Yeah.
is.
And she,
Absolutely.
I guess, where are we? What is the current order? I guess what's next?
Starling is now going to attempt to get out of your grasp. And she is going to succeed. She kind of in a rage, a supernatural rage, flings you off of her, and you hit one of the wine barrels and fall to the ground.
Thud.
No.
Thud. You're a little bruised.
Am I injured?
Yes, you are injured.
Cool.
And you fall to the ground in a little bit of a crumpled moment.
Yeah.
And she stands up, bleeding from the neck, and says, "You have no idea how big this is, Queen." Queen. It's funny how you give yourself that title. Gross. Nasty.
This
House
bitch.
Catty.
Yo!
Wonderful.
Super catty.
She's
Not
so
okay.
mean.
Don't like
Cotton
it.
Ball, it is your turn, my dear.
My turn. I'm going to. Oh gosh. Do I want to do another stun or do I want to do another hurt? Oh gosh. I'll grab. I'm gonna grab Scuttlebutt, or what is it?
Snagglebutt.
Snagglebutt, that's it.
Snaggletooth. Butt snaggle. Butt tooth.
Roll to grab his butt.
With the booty teeth.
Roll to grab the butt.
Touch the butt.
What? That's one success.
Okay, so you are able to kind of grab him away, sort of, from where he is, but it's not. You don't have a very good handle on him.
Yeah.
If you want to fully injure him next round, it's going to be a difficult challenge.
Okay.
Wonderful. So George, who is kind of laying there on the ground,
A baby.
he's going to attempt, after hearing Starling so rudely call you names, Cat, attempt to attack. And he is crit successing on this. So he sees this and he goes, "Don't say that!" And he throws himself with great ease at Starling, tackling this small calico to the ground and adding more injury to her head as he bashes with his claws. She is now the critical, or not critical, she has 2 injuries, and so she's disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. So she is on the ground looking really terrible. And
Who's Anne? All right, so here's what's going
Cat.
to happen. So
I know how it's annoying now. This is great.
I'm giving you shit. So she is going to see this, and then she sort of like injured, but like looks up and sees the tall tiers of wine barrels and wine bottles, and she remembers running across all of the bookshelves and all of the mason jars and every glass that could be shattered, and she thinks, yes, this is the moment for me to strike. And she is going to run up, parkouring along the wall and just knocking all of these things over onto the battlefield and onto these 2 cats as possible. Great. Yeah.
Roll me a difficult challenge. But you actually, roll me a difficult challenge, but you do have your automatic success. You are the right cat for the job.
Okay, so do I roll? Is this? I don't roll 3 dice.
No, you roll 2.
Okay. All right, a success and another success.
Damn. Okay, great. So you tell me how this looks.
Okay, so she kind of like shaken pushes herself up and then sees just time sort of slows, right? It's almost like another brush with how Thimblepaw sees the world, right? And she feels the same way she felt the rumbles of her feet pressing the ground, all of the action around her, and instead of just chaotically knocking things over, she gets up there. She makes a leap up onto a row of wine glasses, like stacked on a shelf, and waits for the moment where George has the one cat pinned down and then throws it down. She waits for the moment when somebody has jumped out of the way and then pushes it over, and all of that to the best of her ability. She's just running across, throwing down chaos into the center of the room.
Great. So Starling gets a shattered glass to the body.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's probably funny.
Wow.
It shakes her torso.
Yeah.
And you can tell that she is dying.
Yeah. Well, maybe she shouldn't have questioned my kingdom.
There you have it.
There you have it,
And
folks.
that's Cat. All right. So Snagglebutt is not happy with you, Cat, and is coming after you.
Yeah.
And
It's difficult
does
terrain.
not succeed in reaching you.
Yeah, so it's like these things aren't hitting him now. It's just like she just sits up there just pushing over as he's trying to like find a time to jump up and get her, but she's running out of wine bottles. These are not infinite supply.
Knocking shit off shelves.
He
with great
attempts
justice.
to get up there, but he can't really dodge all of the glass that's being thrown in his direction. Thimblepaw, your turn.
She
so right
yells,
now-
"Your kingdom is false."
Yes. I love it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just slow.
I'm obsessed. I'm
slow to the
obsessed.
jump.
So one cat is dying and the other one is injured.
The other one is injured, yes.
Injured. Okay. Feeling the call of the Sabretooth, I will join the fray. And I'd love to try and injure this one.
Absolutely. Roll to injure.
That's 2 successes.
Dang. Dude. Okay.
So as the back is turned.
So
I
you were
will-
going
yeah.
Snagglebutt, right? Or
Yeah, for
Starling?
Snagglebutt.
Snagglebutt. Got it.
Because Snagglebutt's the one that's injured, right? Not dying?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So for Snagglebutt, as Snagglebutt's focused on the cascade of the different falling bottles, I would love to just like feel like in bullet time, like see the thread as where the bottles are going to hit and find a clear path, and then just feel like a spectral set of saber-tooth fangs approach, and feeling the full-on theater gay that I am. I'm just like, you'll make a beautiful ghost, and pounce.
All right.
Yes, Thimblepaw.
So-
Yes.
Yeah.
How
This
dare you?
large Maine Coon, Thimblepaw's large, furry, beautiful gray body, smacks into this wiry little tabby.
Going
and
for a
he
nape
falls.
bite.
What?
Going for a bite at the nape.
At
like,
the nape?
yeah,
Great.
full-on
You
Animal Planet.
succeed. And he starts to bleed while he lays on the ground next to Starling, who is also bleeding from her neck. Great. Cotton Ball.
It's me.
It's
Um,
you.
So everyone is so Starling is dying, and Snagglebutt is
Also dying.
is dying. Oh.
Yep. Now he is.
I mean,
We do good work. What can I say?
what is there to do other than to explore more or get the hell out of here?
I mean,
Up to you.
Oh gosh. Did we find what we came here for?
I
Or
mean,
did
we know that. I mean, we came to figure out what was going on, and we kind of know what's going on in a sense. But I mean, are we having this discussion in character? Like,
It's up to
Yeah.
you. We can talk about pieces of evidence that you have right now.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Right.
think up on the top, Cat looks a little bit disheveled, and she looks down at them, and she remembers that voice earlier in her mind in the beginning of the day, and it echoes back through her as a memory that said to run. right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
she looks down at them and she says, "Friends, I think we could stay here and we could learn more. But the more we learn, the more in danger we will become. I think what remains of the council, we should tell them of this enemy, these yellow eyes, these seductive words that these creatures have spoken. And maybe then, maybe..." And she looks at Thimblepaw, and like the kind of strength starts to leave her as she jumps down off of the thing and lands kind of hard, and her injury becomes more obvious as she sort of like favors her other front paw, dragging herself forward. And she says, "I think if we stay longer, there will be trouble. Do you think they can fix this?"
Yes. Let us tread on cozier ground.
What does cozier ground look like?
There is a nook where Todd leaves unfinished patterns in the shop. We may rest there. I have good catnip and wet food prepared.
She says, "Wet food. Yes, it's a good shit."
I know her well.
Yeah. And then she like kind of frowns as she realizes like the only human who really wants to pet her or tries to pet her is Bitch. And she's like, "It would be good to check on my vassal and see how they fare. And, maybe get scritches." And she looks embarrassingly at Cotton Ball and then at the ground.
So, are you heading out back from whence you came?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you all head up the stairs. Cat is having a little more trouble than usual, which sucks.
No, I'm
so
kidding.
you're lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a bit of a pride check. in
Yeah,
that.
it's not great.
Yeah. But as you're leaving, you're the last one in the stairwell. You take another moment to look up
Yeah.
to see that beagle. But it's not there.
Oh!
And that's where we'll end today.
No! Oh my god! Round of applause for Helena.
This
Yes!
stern face.
This
This
cat
is
herder.
such a good one shot. I'm dead. All right.
Thanks.
The
Here's-
beagle's
Not yet.
gone.
Here's what's
Not dead yet.
a couple of things are gonna happen. Here's what we're gonna do.
Great.
We're going to go away for a hot second, get some peas in, some carrots. No, we're going to get some peas and some whatever else is in. We're going to get a drink. You should do the same and then come back here in 5 minutes, literally like 4 or 5 minutes. We'll be back. We're going to reset. We're going to take any questions that you have about this game or Starfound or anything else about the system for Helena, whatever you want. Go ahead and start thinking of those, throw them in chat, and we will be right back with you to have a quick conversation to close out the evening. Is there anything else we normally do at this point? Yeah, no, we do. This is what we do.
Not really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we just cut
I
the
was
break.
like, I don't know why I'm so
Yeah.
confused. All right, everybody. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. With that, nonsense shall begin.
I can do it. Here's the deal.
I gave up
Oh my
Christ
God.
for the midwife fucking.
No, okay, no, let's not. All right, let's calm down.
Not ponytails or cottontails, yeah, ducktails. Woo!
We're leaving the area.
If I leave the chest with you and then I make it and then you don't, then what fool are we?
Well, but then the chest will be right there, and you will have lost nothing.
But you'll be dead. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Just a quick little run through the door and nothing more. Everything's fine, I am fine, and you are fine.
These poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do.
Are you with me, mateys?
Arr.
Arr. All right, once more with feeling.
Once more with feeling.
I'm just gonna run up the stairs and have some fun, and then you'll be on the run behind me, and it will be fine.
Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered once, it can change again.
Restore power. Ah! Fuck me, Jesus Christ! All right.
That's 33 points of damage.
Okay. Okay, put your little mouth away. Put your little mouth away!
That sounds like a meg.
So we have a Kraken.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Moose! Moose! You're so cute!
Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything is fine, and ultimately the end of this game will be mine.
All right, let's do it.
I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this! Oh my god, I hate this! I've never seen this before and I hate it! Ah! That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No, no. Ah! Ah! Jesus fucking Christ! Failing stuff and everything is good, cause I act real tough. Everything will be fine at
I just want you to know that I love that.
Friends. Yeah? Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything's fucking fine, cause this is gonna be the last time we're gonna do it this time. Yeah, fine, everything's fine.
Every day is a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me who loves to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna watch you.
I did it. Oh, no. You know.
Everything is fine, we're just gonna do our time in this prison of the mind. Everything's fine, everything's fine. Everything is fine, and it's gonna be alright.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. The gang is all here. We're listening to Murder Sauce's music, and we're pumping the jams.
Hell yeah.
Heckin' love it.
Let us know if the levels aren't great, but I think they should be okay. But let us know if for some reason you can't hear us. Well, what a fucking wild ride that was. First of all, thank you so much, Elena, for teaching us all a new system. Thanks to chat for demanding that this be what we played. We were gonna play Call of Cthulhu, and then
But Cats of Catthulhu works too.
and then Helena was like, you know what? I have another idea, and chat was like, do it, you won't. So, I guess I want to start by saying there was a question in chat, and it's a pretty important one, is where can people get the Necronomicon?
You can get it on Drive-Thru RPG. All of the Cats of Catthulhu books are on Drive-Thru RPG, which is a website where you can go and get a bunch of fun things.
That's great.
A lot of indie games use it. Highly recommend trolling it. It's really quite a lovely place, though I'm an indie RPG.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. And then there's also a Kickstarter for Cats of Catthulhu in the world. Funnily enough, there are also cat dice that you can get. So the dice
So
system
literally
in this is
no
super
math.
easy.
You don't even have to look at numbers.
Right. You don't even have to look at numbers. It's like the best game for me when I'm not feeling math, which is most days. But they are dice that have a happy cat face on the where the 5 and the 6 are, and then a sad cat face on the other numbers. So you can buy those. They're on the Kickstarter. I have ordered mine already. But yeah, they're Kickstarter and Drive-Thru RPG.
Heck yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome. And how did you? I mean, I know the answer to some of these questions, but I think a lot of us really enjoy. And this is not to say that everyone who enjoys, RPGs needs to leave their faves behind in search of playing indies. But I think they're really fun, and they don't. I think it's scary to leave your comfort zone. So, Helena, what has been? You're someone in my life that is particularly driven to try them and run them.
Yeah.
What is that like for you, and what do you like? What gets you going about it?
Well, Anne. Who's Anne?
Who's Anne?
For me, my draw to indie RPGs is from okay, so I'm gonna make a whole video about this, but there's the idea of the fake nerd girl, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about oh, are you a nerd girl? Name 15 subclasses of the fucking that kind of shit. And so my intro into the world of RPGs was through Starfinder, which is the loveliest thing ever. But there's a lot of things that you're supposed to know, and more so in the D&D world. You're supposed to know these things. Yeah. And so I was really excited to learn a game that most people didn't know.
Yeah.
So the first indie RPG
comfort
that I ever played was called Rememorex, and I highly recommend it. It's probably my favorite world ever. And it's basically a high school 80s John Hughes horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that there are ways in which trying new systems is more inclusive than stuck into a thing that you're supposed to know about, which is not the case, and it's totally a made-up thing. But for me, it was just a comfort to have to rely on something new and fresh.
I think it also just really puts everybody, like you said, on the same level. There's no, and a lot of that is about, which is not to say that gatekeeping doesn't happen, but I think sometimes when people are but I'm nice to people who want to play games, it's well, you don't understand. If you've had somebody come at you, that can, for the individual that had that happen to them, be built up in their own mind, making them the ones who are kind of, I said in a video I did, I think last year or the year before, that I think I was my last gatekeeper, right? Because I had built up so many of those other aggressions and microaggressions in the community into this thing that was huge in my mind, and I had to release myself of the responsibility. But I find it so interesting that your reaction was to go into the unknown, and my reaction was I will build them stronger, faster, better. I will become you, and then I will destroy you with my knowledge. Which is such an interesting counter, Yeah. Where does everybody else fall on that spectrum?
I think for me, because so much of my background is actual video games or board games, I treat everything as it's a very new experience. I was very much a Star Wars family, so there's still Star Wars, but also Southern Baptist. So it's D&D, what's that? I mean, my uncle watched Lord of the Rings, but that was the closest it ever got. And it was, a whole struggle trying to get my parents to let me watch Harry Potter, which I couldn't for the first few years of my life. So it's all just this exciting new world for me, where it's all very familiar because I love fantasy and I'm familiar with it. But it's also Christmas every day, where I get to explore a lot of things and consume all the content. So I'm very much RPG baby, show me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Parker?
Sorry, what was the question again?
The question is, where are you on the spectrum of when feeling nervous about gatekeeping, do you dive into learning and outclassing other people in information to be better at the thing they already think they're better than you at, or do you go into the like, I'm going to go do something else, and then everybody is on an even playing field?
That is a really good question. I feel like I do a little bit of both. I know that's a non-answer, really,
It's
but
not.
like, I usually more often than not I don't like to step on people's toes. I think everyone knows that about me. I'm a non-confrontational sort of person, and so
A gentle boy.
thank you. And so when someone does have more experience than I do, especially in tabletop RPGs, I will concede to their judgment, and I know my rank in the hierarchy, certainly. But also, I don't really think it's like I go to like different systems or indie RPGs because I get, gatekeeped out of or excluded. More so that I'm just a big fan of hooks. Give me a
Get me excited about something. And I think
give me,
I think I wouldn't have played games that weren't D&D until I had some hooks, until stuff got their hooks in me. And I remember, I think I wanted to play Pathfinder. I've still, and this will shock many people in the chat, have never played Pathfinder. I have only ever played D&D and Starfinder, and like I've read some of the Pathfinder lore. Like I remember flipping through my friend's older brother's books, right, and looking at all the images and like getting excited about it, but that was just never the game that was offered to me to play. Which is not to say that I should have needed to have it offered to me. It just didn't happen. And what happened was somebody ran a D&D game for me, and then I kept playing that game. So I think that's pretty common for people to stick in the shallow end of the pool, and do that stuff. And especially because it can be hard to convince people to learn a new system.
yes.
It's really
absolutely.
hard. And it's, for me as a GM, like I have a really hard time thinking in one shots. So when I take on a new thing, I know the amount of mental energy it's going to take me as a GM to come up with a story. And I'm better at it now than I was before, but I think early on I would be really afraid to try different systems with one shots because I was just like too nervous about wasting time that I could be spending on a bigger thing. But it wasn't until, and I don't know why it's always horror, but we started making it something that we did in a ritual every single New Year's Eve. And every Halloween, we would go to my friend's house in New Jersey. We would drive out there with Gavin and Tanya, and then we would turn off all the lights and play a spooky one-shot. And we started doing it with Dread, which is used as a Jenga tower mechanic. If you haven't tried that, highly recommend. I would do it, but you really can't do it unless you're all together. Like, that's just one of those that requires that you're in the same room. But if
So
we
don't
could
do that unless you've quarantined for 2 weeks. All of you.
Everybody. But I do recommend looking into it. And Geek and Sundry did some incredible Dread campaigns. Sorry, I was like, my brain, please join us at your earliest convenience. They did them, and Ivan, who is just a master of horror, ran through those, and they have really high production value. It's very worth your time. If you're looking for more spooks to enjoy that will just suck you in, go to the Geek and Sundry page and watch those, because they're really
And they're
fun.
10 candles though.
Yeah, and 10 candles is great too. So, but those were the games that I started playing in these sort of one shots, and it's always horror, and I don't know what it is. I guess I do know what it is about horror, but I'm gonna ask you guys, I'm gonna throw it back to you. What do you think makes horror such a good one shot topic, or like rather than D&D or something like that? I guess you could do horror in any game, but
I have a few ideas. Certainly especially if it's a new system, being a stranger in a strange land certainly is a great feeling to have. Because, you get plopped into the system and you may not get all the details. and you just have to piece together what you can perceive. And sometimes there are things beyond your own perception that are out there.
The truth is out there.
The truth is out there, but also like, shoot, I'm trying to think what else would fits really well in horror. Does anyone else have any?
Yeah, feel free to come back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think for me, it's very easy to jump into it because, as I said, I'm very new to RPGs, and being new to a system and being new to a world, like Parker said, you know, so much of horror is the disempowerment, and there's a lot of disempowerment in not being familiar with what's going on, not knowing the unknown, where everything's like, well, I have my preconceptions based on, you know, sword and sorcery, but then when we're in a situation where there are pale hands reaching out of a lake at a you know, a school party, I'm confused and I'm alarmed, and I'm like, okay, what's that? Did anybody else see that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in real life, I was saying before stream, I have a very high perception in real life because anxiety, you know, double minority in America, woohoo.
Yeah.
You know, so I see shit.
Yeah.
And when other people don't, I'm like, is it me? Is it something more? And I think horror really lends itself to that kind of second guessing.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say something long and windy, but Gil really wrapped it up very succinctly. Horror one-shots mean TPKs without regret, and that creates really fun stakes. And I think that's also fun for the players, right? Because when I have my, you know, I was feeling this last night. I was playing a character I've been playing for a couple of years, and I was like, man, if I do this, this could really be it. And so, you know, the thing is that you're not necessarily thinking that when you are a person in those high stakes situations. You're just trying to survive. And I think taking away that, you know, this is the thing that I'm going to do with my friends for the next forever, once a week or once a month or whatever it is, out of the equation allows you to inhabit the survival mindset. And make, as Emily the Spoon, who was in here earlier, often says in these situations, make strong choices, take off your shirt is always the the sentence that we use to describe, like, when you're in an audition, like, what should you do to just do it, like whatever you would do, just do it. And I think that's really important, and I think survival horror brings that out of people in a really big way. It just forces you into a fight or flight very, very quickly. And, you know, whether it's something like 10 Candles, which if you haven't seen our VOD of, Helena was on that on Sunday, and it was super fun. Would love to do more of that for sure. But the truth of the matter is just that has a particular countdown that's not going to stop. Once you start playing that game, you know where it's going. Any other survival horror game doesn't have that countdown, but you do have the countdown of, we're going to have to get to a satisfying ending. And whether that means that I make a heroic sacrifice and, you know, do what I need to do to get my friends out, or we run away with more questions like we did tonight, like, this is still a really satisfying ending, quote unquote, to at least this chapter. If we do more, and if that's something you would want, you should tell us in chat, because we have a lot of things we're working on, so knowing what you guys want is very helpful.
Makes me want to run a Monster of the Week game with y'all.
Oh yeah, Monster of the Week's fun.
Speaking of other systems, I have a question for you all, guys. What game or system have you been wanting to play but never got the opportunity to sit down and play with people?
Oh, that's a hard question, parkour.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Parkour.
So I really love Weave.
Yeah, that is.
And the thing is, like, I've gotten to run that game twice, but I've never gotten to play it.
Right.
And I would really like to play it.
Well, we tried to play it, and do you remember that?
Yeah, well, we tried to play it. So there was this one night, a fateful evening, where I don't remember. I think we were going to record the game that we were trying to do before we'd started Starfinder, but we couldn't play it for whatever reason. It got canceled, and so it ended up being me, Helena, and Miles just were like, okay, fuck it, we're playing
wanna
board
do?
games all night.
That's amazing.
And so we played. I had just gotten a bunch of games from Gen Con, and Miles had gotten some games from Gen Con, and we just dumped them on the table. We played a bunch of games, and I don't know what it was about that night where we were like, none of us are giving up. Like,
Yeah,
we
we
are
tried
going to
really
play
hard.
every game forever. And the last thing we pull out, we were just like, all of these games are great, but none of these board games were an RPG, and I'm sad. And so
Yeah.
Miles is like, I guess we could play Weave. So he pulls out Weave. Weave is built, and I've done some work for them. Not to be like shameless plug, but I've done some work for them. So I at this point do understand what their intent is on a very like intimate level. As far as like, you really should be able to open one of their games and start playing in 10 minutes. But we happen to pick the most complicated module that is like, you're in space and here's a whole bunch of lore. So Miles is literally, his eyes are rolling into the back of his head while he's
Probably
trying
like
to
2 a.m.
contain the universe. We're starting
Oh,
this
no.
game having played 3 other games, right?
Oh,
And
no.
then we just sat there, and I think we made our characters and we're like, yeah, they're so cool. And then Helena and I just looked at each other and we were like, and that's the end of the story.
Yep. And we're done.
Started
Good
playing.
night.
We walked into a single room. We walked onto a balcony and looked out over an astral city, and we were just like, wow, this
And
game's
we're
great. Bye. Chiron brings up an interesting point. There is a Sea of Thieves RPG, and I would fucking
really?
love to get my hands on that because I love the lore in that game. Yeah, murder. Do the research, man. Tell me more, because I really want to look into it. I need your help. I need your help to make this happen for Mama. But yeah, I really want to play Weave and be a player, and I really want to play Pathfinder because I was
Yeah.
really. I got to interview Eric Mona about it when the second edition came out, and you're sitting in front of like the guy who's in charge of it, listening to how passionate he is about different kinds of dwarves, and you're just like, let me. I want to do it. I want to do the thing. Yeah. So, anyone else? What are your
Shadowrun. I want to play
Shadowrun.
more Shadowrun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in 2 games of it, like a long time ago that Miles DM'd. And I just made a character that I wasn't into,
Yeah.
I think, and everybody has this happen to them, I'm told.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I just really wasn't into my character, and so I want to like remake a character,
Yeah.
and then just figure out the Shadowrun. It's so crunchy, and I know there's some new stuff that's out that's less crunchy that I would love to look at, but
Yeah. Shadowrun is super crunchy, and it is one of those that's so crunchy that you kind of don't actually. I won't say you. I found that I didn't really understand the first character I made until
Yeah,
after I got to play it, and I was like, this was not my intention, and I ended up still liking it, right? Like, I ended up still liking it, but Gil says, fun fact, I went to college with Eric. That's
Really?
cute.
yeah, that's cool.
That's cute.
Wow.
So who else has systems?
Yeah, I think for me, weird as it is to say, I honestly just have a craving for more D&D because I DM, for the group that I play. We run in the Pettyverse. It's the darkest timeline. We just showed up in Oz, actually, from New York to Oz. And it's a lot of fun, but I want to also be a player, I have heard y'all talk so much about Shadowrun, and it sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I want to play all the things, and like
I
in
wish someone
Pathfinder, I
would
want to be a
port-
summoner. Like,
wish
I wanna do
someone
things.
Would like port Shadowrun into Weave,
Yeah.
so
That
that it would
sounds
just
really
be easy,
interesting.
and I could enjoy
what is
all
Weave
the lore.
about?
So Weave is how do I describe this? Weave uses an app, and it is inspired by
Oh.
tarot. So you choose a type of game that you want to play. If you want to play Gloomies, which is very much like Stranger Things meets the Goonies type universe, where you're all kids in peril, right? Or
Right.
you might choose there's the Goblin one, where you're all Gobbo heroes rather than you're working against the heroes as goblins basically in that world. And they have a whole bunch of them, and more than that I cannot say. But if you go look at Weave, you'll be able to see, it's just the same set of rules for every single possible world. And then what happens is the GM pulls, or the storyteller pulls a couple cards to create like the big bad and the some given circumstance and a location, right? And then the players start pulling cards to be their challenges and their strengths and different background elements and things like that give them a certain number of dice to roll. And you pick whether you're going to be flames, which means you're smart, or you're rolling primarily with intelligence stats. Your gales, which means you're fast and nimble and agile. Your Brooks, which is your speaky, your talky charisma type, smooth as water person. And then Stone, which is you strong and thick and very physical, right? Or hard-headed or determined, or however you want to interpret it. But and then all of the cards have different pluses or minuses to rolling for different amounts of dice for things, and it's very easy to start, and you can just enter a world in 10 minutes and it's all there. For a while they sold the cards themselves, and then you would download the app, but now we can't hear your cat, Helena. I can't.
She's talking to me.
No, it's very cute. It's okay. You need to speak to the cats. You've been doing it all night. But yeah, it's definitely recommended. I think now you can do it all on an app, which should make it easier if you wanted to try and play that game remotely. You should technically all be able to have the same, like your DM would just send you through the app an invite to a campaign, much like Roll20 or Foundry.
That's cool.
And then you pick your cards within the app, and the GM can see. Yeah, I think we can do that. I mean, maybe I'll do that.
I'm on the website right now, and it does.
I'm in the darknet.
To the mainframe.
Just as I have zero self-control.
Yeah, man, it's great. Highly recommend. This hashtag not sponsored, but yeah, absolutely. So Parker, anything else?
Well, I can name the systems I want to play.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to know.
Oh, great. I definitely want to play more Fantasy Flight Star Wars. I actually wanted to make a campaign based on the second half of the Clone Wars. And got a but.
Hello. My name is Anne.
This is Anne. Yeah.
Hi, Anne.
I'm entering my microphone. I'll be there shortly.
Yeah, that was
digital.
Also,
and
sorry for the way that sounded.
Yeah, no worries.
I liked it.
It was good.
Bitch.
And I definitely want to do that eventually once I'm more familiar with the system. But I'll play it any sort of time. But I also have so many systems from my last con that I went to that I haven't necessarily played yet. I got Urban Shadows, which is great. It's
that art though, wait, can you show that to the
The
camera?
art is so good.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
And creepy and pretty.
Yeah, it's basically like political urban fantasy powered by the apocalypse. Basically magic
powered by the apocalypse.
Yeah, magic fantasy with like urban gang warfare and stuff like that, and like controlling city wide population. Yeah. I got Masks, which is definitely something I want to do because it's like
Yes.
youth superheroes. So it's like teen angst, but also you have powers.
Mutants
and then
I played a character named Brian whose superhero was Bryman.
Oh man.
And he was just happy to be there.
That's great.
I'll tell you, speaking of like games I want to play, sure, but like I want to get back to playing D&D with my dad.
Oh.
We've been playing through Dragon of Icefire Peak, which is the one-on-one D&D module you get in the Essentials kit. And we started last Thanksgiving, and we drank a lot of whiskey, and that went on for a while. He woke up in the morning, and so I woke up the next day not remembering a ton of what happened, and my mom goes, "Do you know what your father said to me this morning?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "He asked me how it felt to wake up next to a level 3 cleric of the Morning Lord." like,
Yeah.
that tweet rates itself. Go into Twitter. And now I see that tweet literally everywhere in every D&D group ever. I see that tweet. And it just like gives me life every time. It just makes me really love my dad. And my dad knows how far that went across the universe, because every time we talk about what I'm doing on this channel or the games that we're playing with Starfound, he's like, so like, when am I gonna get to be on a guest starring role, because clearly I'm the best at content creation. And I was like, okay, Dad.
That's
Can
funny.
he star on Starfound?
But can he
I
though?
don't. I think that is, we'll have to play a game with him offline first before.
Right.
And then we'll...
Which is not which is not to say that he could never. It's just that he's an older gentleman.
No, it's hard.
Fair.
It's hard.
Yeah.
All the things we
Okay.
take for granted about like listening and dealing with Zoom and microphones and stuff is a little bit harder for some people. But I love him so much, and he comes to the channel so often and is very supportive. And we have Jill Anderson, I saw in chat as well.
That's my mom.
The
My mom's the
moms.
best.
Anderson.
She's accidentally guest starred on the show
Chase
once.
Mom.
Yeah, she did accidentally guest star in the
came
show.
by.
Yeah.
I was fine with it.
It was
She-
so cool.
Well, she wanted to say hi to
I know,
everyone.
it was so great, and she watches all the time. What's up, Disability Overload? Thanks so much for that follow. We're doing a quick
thank you.
decompress after playing Cats of Catthulhu. Well, that being said, does anybody else have any thoughts about tonight's game before we wrap up and
Thanks
do some
for
plugs?
playing with me, y'all.
Oh, it's
just
such a
super
pleasure.
fun.
So very fun. I mean,
Unexpectedly fun.
I love me some make a strong character
Yeah.
and be able to be like, oh yes, I can combat. But it was just so nice to just jump in some lore, like just laying in a sunbeam. And really that's what this felt like, just laying in a nice sunbeam. Like, it's so good to just feel like, because like we know cats. And I feel crazy saying this.
We do know cats.
I can't explain this better. How it's about cats. And I feel like being able to pull from what we know about observing cats that we've had as pets, or just seeing them, because it's, it's taking something familiar and something fantastical and finding a happy medium between them, because there are moments where it's like, okay, we're just happy doing some fun cat things, and then when we get to that cellar, it's like, ooh,
Accurate.
sad. And we're like, oh.
Yeah, well, and ultimately for me, like, with this game, I was like, Helena was like, what do you want to be? And I was like, I'm just going to be my cat. And she was like, okay, who does your cat live with? And I was like, a bitch.
I was like, okay, what's her name? And you're like,
Bitch. Her name is
Great.
Bitch. And so I just like entered this weird mind palace where I finally I feel so much more connected with my cat that I've locked out of this room for good reason, because she literally before we started, so I have a mug which I like had used while I was doing work today, so it had coffee in it and I need to go wash it, but I put it on another table in my office, and right before we started she tried to come in here and knock my Gamer Gulp mug onto the ground and shatter it. So maybe I was working through some things today. But like,
the absolute nerve.
I know, and I was like, this bitch. But I really do like the idea that like this game really flips those relationships on their head and makes you think about, I'm interested to learn more about Cotton Ball if we get to know more about what life on the streets is like for cats and that perspective.
Trust me, only the best cats of the best cats.
Oh
can
God,
live out
I
here.
take it back. I take it back. No, I'm kidding. I love it. No, I love it. I love that so much. And I hope you'll consider coming back to run more for us, Helena, because I think this was for as chaotic as Helena is as a human. She is meant to be cats. She's not meant to be one cat. She's meant to be many cats. I've never seen a GM flip so seamlessly between a council of cats. Like, I was in awe. I was in a round of applause.
So good.
Round of applause.
The scene work, the acting, the commitment.
The cat-mitment.
Wow, the cat mittment.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So with that being said, Helena, why don't you start us on the ending of our show here, where we're going to go ahead and tell everybody what we do and where they can find us.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I am the Magic Llama of the Magic Llama Mood. You can follow me at the Magic Llama Mood on Instagram and TikTok. I also post on YouTube because I'm that millennial, and you can follow me at the link that I've put in the description. Not the description. See, I've said it too much at this point. In the comments. And I post new videos every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's video, consequently, is about this game, which is great. And it just kind of goes through the rules and basics of the game, the ins and outs of Cats of Catthulhu. For those of you that don't know, the first book is called The Necronomicon. Let that sink
That's
in.
just everything.
Neko, cat, great.
We get it.
But yeah, I talk about that book, and I highly recommend checking it out. Give me a like and subscribe. Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah. All right. How about you, Thimblepaw, aka Dex?
Well, when I am not playing Thimblepaw or Jabberwocky, I am Dexter Warren on TikTok as Afro Tsundere. We recently just hit 1,500 subscribers there, or followers there. Very happy about it. A lot of anime content, a lot of D&D content. 100% ratchetry. It's what you're here for. And just happy to be here. Links are, the information is going in the chat.
Guys, Smoggles just gifted 5 subs.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Thank
you.
Thank you
Smoggles
so much.
is also someone you can find on Helena's channel.
Yeah. He shows up in some of my videos. He also has his own YouTube channel where he plays games.
That's true. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And is there anything else you wanted to say before we move on to Parker?
Let us go to Parker.
Let us go to Parker.
Let us go to. Oh, that's me.
It's me.
It's
I'm them.
Hello, I am Parker Wallace. I have a YouTube channel in which I am posting stuff on.
Hell yeah.
As soon as I'm done editing, I'll be posting my first reaction video, which is going to be of Sonic the Hedgehog 2020. Lots of mixed feelings about this movie. It's going to be great.
Now,
yeah.
Do you know when that's going to be? Do you have a sense of that yet?
I'm trying to. It's going to probably be by next week, honestly.
Rad.
Because I have all of the footage cut down, and I just need to make it 15 minutes long and then add some, pizzazz to it,
So-
and then bada bing, bada boom.
Y'all need to go subscribe and hit that bell so you see when it goes up, because as YouTubers, we never want to be like, it's going to be on Friday if we don't know for sure. So the best thing to do is just go to our channels right now, click the subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff, so that you know when it goes live. I hate myself right now because I'm saying all these things that I said I would never say, and yet here we are, content creating to the max.
Here we are in the future.
And lastly, but not leastly, I am Hearthsinger, aka the head bard in charge right here at Hearthsinger Games. This is my channel. This day of the week on Thursdays is normally reserved for my Starfound crew here. Womp, 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 womp. We are typically playing Starfinder, a game by Paizo that takes you out of the starting area and in to the stars for epic spacefaring fantasy. And we have been playing that for over 100 hours at this point, which is crazy. So I will throw in chat, actually, if somebody else could do the anchor.fm, if you want to catch up on those adventures with Miles from Geeks Are Good. Thank you so much, Helena. You can listen to that entire adventure and watch our VODs at youtube.com/StarfoundPod, something like that. I don't know. But just look up Starfound on YouTube. Look up the Starfound
Yeah,
podcast.
look up
You'll find it.
Starfound Pod on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain amount of subscribers you have to have a custom URL.
Yeah.
Things I learned recently.
Yeah. So you can also find us at Patreon. Thank you so much, guys. I love you so much for doing this. So you can also find us at patreon.com/StarfoundPod if you want to support us as storytellers, helping us get better equipment, get access to do more shows so that we can all put more and more time into telling stories, which is, of course, what we love most in the world. That is a great place for you to support everyone here. As far as my channel is concerned, I am here 4 or 5 days a week, and I paint miniatures. I run games in different RPG systems. I play different video games, typically RPGs, making commentary and leaving critical decision making up to my chat. All sorts of things like that is basically what you can find. If you like this nonsense, you'll definitely like the rest of what I have to offer on the channel. So please consider following if you're new, or subscribing. And you can actually subscribe for free if you have Twitch Prime. So go ahead and use your Twitch Prime. So if you want to use your Twitch Prime sub to do some good, this is an excellent place to do that, and a place that can really, really use it. As far as other places you can find me, I will stick them in the chat. I also have a surprise shocker YouTube channel. Dun, dun, dun. The highest quality whimsy, yeah. YouTube.com/AnnRichmond is where you can find videos from me every single Wednesday. I do vlogs, but I also do looks at various RPGs and tabletop games. Most recently, I did a video on Wednesday that went up for the new Starship Operations Manual for Starfinder. So I know a lot of you enjoy Starfinder. If you've been trying to decide whether or not that is going to be a good book to add to your library, even though you don't need technically more than the core rulebook to play, highly recommend. And I try to focus in my reviews more on like what kind of information you're going to find inside. Is it exciting? Is the lore cool? Are you going to get hype to use this stuff? Because that's what I care about. And so I hope that you will go and check that out. I will say I am 1 YouTube subscriber away from hitting 100 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
So if somebody who hasn't subscribed to me
Go do it.
could do it, it would be really great, and it would make my night.
But Anne, what's your YouTube again?
It's youtube.com/AnnRichmond.
And
And I am so grateful because, y'all, I just hit 20 patrons on my Patreon. Asmo, you did it! We did it! Oh my god, yay!
These are at 101.
Thanks,
101!
Asmo.
Oh, bitch! Who you fighting?
Like the Dalmatians.
Oh.
We don't talk about dogs on this channel.
Yes, we do.
No, I know. I love doggos, honestly. Where would we be without doggos? Air horns. Blah, 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 blah. And my Patreon, which allows me to focus on this full time. What I do is create content here and work with other people across the game industry to create high quality tabletop gaming and video gaming content. So if you want to support that and get access to fun things like poems on your birthday and handwritten birthday cards, which I will legitimately send out to you. That's available. There are even tiers where I can be your dungeon master a couple times a year or even once a month. Different things like that are available there, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's patreon.com/HeartsingerGames. It's in the comments. And if what you want is just to like support the channel in a one-off way and share the love, I've got some new merch in there as well. This is my new Baby Bard t-shirt. So definitely go check it out. And I really think that's pretty much it. I think I've plugged every hole that could be
What about Discord?
Yikes, my dude.
Discord. Yikes, I'm saying a lot of things.
There's one more.
There's one more.
all
Wow,
in
nobody
another
clipped that. Please, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank God my dad's not
Please
here
don't.
tonight.
Oh, man.
So...
Oh, God.
On the
Right.
Discord, this is where you can hang out with us and our friends over at Geeks for Good, which is run by our normal GM. He's very normal. GM Miles. So he is on vacation tonight, but he will be back next week. Somehow he knows, says No Haven. Yes, but you can join our community there. This is a great way to hear about what we're doing when we do fun one-shots like this. Our patrons and our Discord friends were the first to know, and you also can interact with us personally on the Discord. If you want to get to know us better, it's a great place to be. 10 out of 10. Would Discord again. All right, that's enough. I think we've had enough. And now, as they say in Downton Abbey, and now I think we should say goodbye. That's where I think we are.
That's good.
Anything
Wow.
anybody else want to say before we head out and do a raid?
I love you.
I don't think so.
Love y'all.
I
Get
love
you some
you
heart
too.
smile today. Rest up.
Yeah, everybody get out there and live your quest life. And we'll see you next time. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern to play some Monster Hunter with the Frontline Friends. See you later. Bye.
Bye.